All right. What is good, everyone? Looks like we are live. Sorry about the little bit of a delay. Slight technical difficulty, but we are up and going. Everything is looking good at this point. So what's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Today, we got a great show for you guys. Like always, at least I try to provide a good... I always say we got a great show for you guys, but sometimes it might not be a great show. So I will try to provide a great show for you guys. Like always, I always give my best effort to provide that. You guys will be the determining factor if it's a good show or not. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into today's topics just because we've got some angry stuff that's what's going on with gamers. It's crazy. If you look at the landscape recently, there's been some new Cyberpunk footage that has came out and it's got the internet ablaze. Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy has got the internet ablaze, but I think the biggest problem that we're dealing with is that we're dealing with some people that don't necessarily understand what is going on with the content. So we're gonna break down some of that stuff overall, in addition to a bunch of other things when it comes to the Switch 2 and topics. So yeah, it should be fun. But let's get into the shoutouts. Sometimes I forget to do shoutouts, and we cannot forget to do shoutouts. You guys are the lifeblood of the stream. So my man Dior, what's up, Dior? Welcome to the stream. What is up, Clabby? Welcome, Clabby. 94, Party Man, Cart World, David V. What up, man? What up? Clabby, Brand Smith with the Lucky 7. Yo, shout outs. Thank you so much. Brand Smith, not to be confused with Bram Flakes. Let's go. Shout outs to my man Brand Smith with the $7 McHolla. You and I'm the Hokage Stream Ninja. First donor of the stream. Brand Smith, what's good, man? How are you doing today? Are you excited for the Nintendo Switch 2? Are you as excited as I am? I think so. I think people are just we're getting ready, man. It is going to be here before you know it. Next week is going to be the following week. Then it's going to be like, all right, yo, Switch 2 is here. Brand Smith with the $7. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Jeffrey Tucker's here. What's up, Jeffrey Tucker? Welcome. Cyber Torres. What up, Cyber? Shout outs. Big love. Almost at our first extension. Let's go about halfway, almost halfway there. Boo 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 Boo. Or just Boo Boo, more like it. What's up, man? People are always mad no matter what Nintendo does. People are mad. What's up, the cool guy? What is good? Welcome. Yes, sir. Caitlin and Justin. What's up, Caitlin and Justin? Shout outs. Cyber Taurus with the $10 dono. How about we kick off the Fire Emblem 3 Houses Foldland wins since banger tracks have been on my mind today? Yes, we will definitely do that. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Yes, sir. That is a great track, by the way. Foldland wins is Foldling. It's Foldling. It's Foldling down the street. So I love me some Fire Emblem. That's all we played. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Foldland wins. Let's go. Foldland wins. Thank you so much, Mr. Cyber Taurus with the $10. First, JoJo. And new Hokage. No, let's go. So let me tell you guys, I'm going to continue doing shoutouts. But let me tell you guys why people are angry. So Blunty had a video talking about Cyberpunk 2077, comparing it to Steam Deck. And that didn't go over so well with some of the people in its comment section, because it showed that the Switch 2 version is clearly better than the Steam Deck version, or this PC version that's on Steam Deck. And that made some people angry. So I think we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna maybe show his video, like what he did too, because he actually talked about it, and he also talked about, like, I think like on the ROG Ally or something like that. And like if you put it for like a 1-for-1 match, because people were saying that it's not fair to compare Cyberpunk portable mode or whatever, or docked mode, to the Steam Deck's non-docked mode and stuff like that. Although it seems like it was a bunch of sock accounts, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that, and why people are some people are angry. Not everybody, not normal, rational people, just some crazy gamers, which we run into all the time. I've had my own bout with crazy Steam Deck fans, you know. So 15 minutes unlocked though extended. Shout out to my man Cyber Taurus. Let's go.
Overclock Buster.
Yes sir. Yes sir. Boo says people making fun of Switch 2. The specs are too weak, but getting mad about performance results being too good. Well, obviously you got to look at those different people that are talking about different things. You have like hardcore like PlayStation 5 fans or so, for example, that might say that maybe aren't even into Steam Deck. So we're not going to confuse the two in terms of things, you know. Let's see here. Dude's been punching the error even trying to edit footage to make Switch 2 look bad on purpose. Yeah, there's a notorious crazy PlayStation fan that is editing footage of it to chop it down, or that's like one person took the Switch 2 footage of Street Fighter 6 and swapped it with the Xbox Series S footage. Yeah, like that's what they're doing at this point. Like they're doing stuff like that. Some of them, nobody rational, but insane people are doing that. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, we're actually and they're getting community noted. You know, funny Blunty used to be anti-Switch 1 back in the day, and Switch 1 launched. Now he's positive about Switch 2. I don't know if he was anti-Switch 1 or most so because like I think he made positive Switch 1 videos. I think he said that Switch 1 was his favorite system if I'm not correct, but maybe the launch of it. Okay, but I didn't watch his channel back then, so I don't know. Shout out to Jazzy Jefferson with another $10 dono. Thank you so much, Mr. Jazzy Jefferson, tying up my man Cyber Taurus at the top of the board. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Jazzy, if you want some music, let me know. I got you for a track. Let me get you up on the board here. We got a two-way tie between Cyber Taurus and Jazzy J. Thank you guys for the 10. Anybody just 10 more time up or pass them up? Let's go. Shout out to Jazzy J. Big love, and of course combo breaks. Let's go. Great Boomy. What's up, Great Boomy? Says ponies. Sunny fanboy's been doing that for years. Yeah. Let's see here. They can hate all they want to. Doesn't stop my hype. Yep. Doesn't stop the hype, man. And I think, like I said, the community notes are good. So you got, I don't know if you guys ran across some of these pages, some of these things. That's why I wanted to make sure I let you guys know about them. Like there has been some nonsense going on. People intentionally altering, messing up videos, trying, just crazy fanboy stuff. Nothing from like the overall general public. So that's the good news. The good news is that most people that even know about the Switch 2, like they plan on getting one. Or they plan on, waiting to see what other games come out. But I think that there's a huge opportunity here, overall, obviously to educate people about what's actually true, but then to also look at the facts when it comes down to it, man. Like, this is going to be a pretty big launch. Like, it's looking like it's going to shape up based off, Nintendo Prime did another video. Also, Jake Randall did a video. Looks like there's going to be extra units like at Target or Best Buy at launch. So if you want one, you might be able to just go get one. So I think this is definitely a good thing for sure. Switch 2 really got these people scared because they don't, because not only do the games look good on Switch 2, they're going to sell like crazy. Yeah, the games look good for sure. The games are definitely looking good. It's an exciting launch. I think that the coolest thing about it is that, well, I would say this, guys. Like, I think a lot of people don't understand the cultural, or more like the socio-economical impact of having a new system drop. They're so worried about their own personal enjoyment or their own system not getting as much play. They don't realize like the market. I think that like maybe sometimes people say like you shouldn't be thinking about this or who cares, but I definitely care. Like, it's good to have people to have jobs. Like, the more success that any system does, whether it's Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, the more jobs, the more hype, the more games that we get. If games do well, and if companies do well, sure, you want to make sure that they're doing right by the consumer. You can boycott, you can do whatever you want to do, right? You can support or not support. You can do what you want to do. But generally speaking, you want to see everything do well. And of course, companies do right by the consumer, vice versa, whatever the case is. Like, you don't want to see stuff fail. So anybody who particularly wants to see stuff fail is just a flat out hater, in my opinion. Like, if you don't like something, you don't have to support that. But having people intentionally take things and alter them or switch up footage to try to confuse people or try to get people, that's just insane. That's insane behavior, So that's the one thing that I would say with this whole situation. So yeah, people on the internet have been editing footage and have been swapping one person on Twitter. It got a lot of attention. He swapped the Xbox Series S and Switch 2 footage of Street Fighter 6, where he showed he put the he put the things on, like the logos. He put the Xbox Series S logo on the Switch 2 version and the Switch 2 logo on the Xbox Series S and called it, oh, look, it's weak, you know? But he got community noted, then he deleted it. So it was pretty crazy. The hate only makes me more excited. I know, seriously. Any recommendations if GameStop isn't doing a midnight launch? Best Buy is doing a midnight launch as well, so you might want to try Best Buy. When Nintendo haters are mad, that means that Nintendo's doing great. Yeah, I think there's definitely a correlation between crazy online fans and angry. Then again, like, you know, the funniest thing is that, like, I covered the Wii U era. I covered the Wii era a little bit. Towards the end of the Wii era, I started covering, and you know, Nintendo was not doing so well with the Wii. With the DS was still doing okay, but they're getting ready for the Nintendo 3DS, and I covered those eras. And man, I'll tell you, people were upset or people whatever. But back then it was a little bit different. Like back then it was just like, okay, people talk about the games more. Like, yes, you can talk about the systems and all that, but in today's day, it's been completely swapped by people that just actually don't play video games. Like, that legitimately don't play games. They're just online mouthpieces to parade whatever they feel like, to talk about whatever they feel like. But they're not even people that are good at games or the people that play games. And I think that's another big problem compared to back then. There are a lot of people who don't even play. So yeah. Let's see here. PS5 is in really bad position right now, first party wise. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I mean, they're still doing okay selling systems and games and just like third party. Yeah, the crazy dude with the Cyclops profile picture. Yes, like Cyclops is supposed to be cool. He's completely disgracing that profile picture. Like the Cyclops, Cyclops is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like Cyclops is not a loser and not a weirdo. Well, Cyclops is a little bit of a weirdo, but he's not like a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a leader. He's supposed to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like that person is not holding up the bargain, not holding up the deal of actually like the real Cyclops. Let's see here. For real though, those people that aren't happy with Switch 2 are all being positive about Cyberpunk 2077. Of course, they credit CD Projekt Red, not Nintendo. Well, I mean, I don't think that they need to credit Nintendo if you're talking about CD Projekt Red. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they have to. Like that's not relevant. Although yes, Nintendo made the system though, but I mean they don't have to. Like we all know what system it's running on. Let's see here. Who has a Cyclops profile? Some weirdo on Twitter. That's intentionally. So here's the thing, Great Zoob. If you see some guy on Twitter with a Cyclops profile picture that's putting out fake information on Switch 2 or weird information on Switch 2, know that a lot of it is probably fake because he's been altering things and been editing stuff. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Abaddon? Thank you for the 81 months of membership. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's really funny to watch grown men act like this. It really is. I agree. It's super funny to watch grown men act like this. So I think we're gonna check out. We'll check out the the footage though. Like we'll watch the Blunty footage from what he had to say about the whole Cyberpunk situation and where people were getting angry. Cyber Taurus with another $10 Jojo. Let's go.
Wild how much hate the Switch 2 gets, for a device literally designed to bring fun and joy. People still forget it's about the games, and not hardware wars. It's crazy the levels people are going to in order to throw shade.
I mean, like, the thing that I don't like is, like, the line. Like, if you don't like something, that's fine. I don't mind somebody not liking something. I don't like a lot of pieces of tech, you know? But like I said, yeah, the line... The situation like is the line about it, and like the people saying that it's not, you know, your tests were unfair. The Switch 2 Steam, like the Steam Deck versus Switch 2 stuff. It's like people need to realize that the whole situation, like with Nintendo Switch 2, it's a dedicated platform where the games are going to be coded, directly designed, and developed for the platform. It's going to be able to do a lot of things that a portable PC, depending on what portable PC you're getting and the settings that you're on, and like it's not the same. And that's why I always find like the Steam Deck comparisons and stuff like that, like I find them at this point to be almost, there's no point, not because in terms of comparing the graphics, like if you want to see the graphics, there's point to that, but like people talking about the Switch 2 and its marketplace compared to Steam Deck, like the IGN article, that type of stuff is silly to me. Like, you know, when she, that lady's actually trying to make it seem as if there's some type of comparison in the market sales-wise between ROG Ally and a Steam Deck and Nintendo Switch 2. Like, that to me is silly. That's the silly stuff that I'm hearing. And when people say Steam Deck made Nintendo Switch completely irrelevant, like, just nonsense like that from big content from creators with 50, 60, 70, 80,000 subscribers, or 100,000, maybe even more. When they make videos like that, they're just contributing to misinforming people. And it's not like it's like, oh, it's a rumor, I'm covering this, or it's like they're sitting there saying things that they know logically is not correct. But they have some type of NDS, Nintendo Derangement Syndrome, or they just simply want to rile people up for the sake of riling people up. Like, why would you sit there and say Steam Deck makes Nintendo Switch irrelevant? Does anybody actually think that? No. Is that a real statement? No. Is there any sales or numbers to back that up? No. There's nothing. Yet we saw that constantly throughout the life when Steam Deck first came out. And then now none of these same people want to discuss on what they said before. And then they'll call other people bootlickers when somebody does like Nintendo or does, like, they'll call names, they'll say things, they'll sit there and say stuff. And I'm just like, these people are jokes. They're all complete jokes at this point, you know? A video, some dude ranting about you ended up on my recommendation feed. Can't really fathom how the video game consoles make people make these guys butthurt. Yeah, and I've seen people rant. I don't watch the videos because I don't like to waste my time watching losers. But, like, I've had people tell me, oh yeah, this guy said this, and like, I'm like, okay. And then they tell me, oh, this is what they said. I'm like, so what did they say? They didn't say anything of value. There's nothing of value being said, but they're so upset because simply likes Nintendo. You simply, like, nothing that I've said is anything crazy with Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not sitting there saying that Nintendo Switch 2 is a bazillion times better than PlayStation sucks and Xbox sucks and everything else sucks. Like, I'm not sitting there saying that. I'm simply saying, hey, look, this is going to be a great system because Switch 1 was great and this is even better. So that's it. Shout outs to Brandino3. Says Tripster's a Disney adult with a Marvel profile picture. What a loser. Anyway, I'm buying a few Switch 2s as a couple Pro controllers, a GameCube controller, and a physical copy of Mario Kart World. Yes, sir. Shout outs to Brandino. So, people ranting about me is really silly. But if you do run across those videos of somebody ranting, let them know. If you want to go, let them know. Tag the creator. Let them know I am available and I am open for discussion. I've said this once. I'll say it again. If they want to come here and we can turn this into an event, we can talk about that. So let them know I'm here. I've said it on Twitter. I'll say it again. I've reached out to the people that say stuff to me. A lot of them will say, oh, I'll talk to you. And then they decide to run away last second. They ghost me. They debate people that are much smaller in subscription size. They dress up in outfits and can't back up anything that they say because they've been wrong about Nintendo and they've been wrong about gaming. They've been wrong about Xbox and the fact that Microsoft did, in fact, decide to do more. They were sitting there pouting, sitting there throwing a whole hissy fit because people saw what everyone else saw with Microsoft, okay? And then you got people that were sitting there trying to say no, and call people names and make it seem as if it was nothing when Microsoft announced that they're going to be doing more. Remember, only 4, and it was a nothing burger, but it ended up actually being a something burger because everyone saw the writing on the wall except for really stupid people. Except for people that are really dumb and sit here and, like I said, rant and rave and hoop and holler about how right they are and how they know gaming when they don't know a damn thing. And like I said, they'll sit here, call people names, sit here, rant and rave all day on stream to grift their stupid audience, for everything that they have when they're wrong. And they won't admit it. So this is what we're seeing. Like I said, this is what we're seeing. And I've invited all of these people to come through and talk. Let's talk about the facts civilly. But so I don't really get psychopath. I don't really get upset when people say, oh, this person's, because like anytime that one of these videos pop up, what is it? Just getting butthurt about me that I like Nintendo. Like getting butthurt that I'll pay, that I will pay for a game that I want. there's nothing logical about these people being upset at anything. There's nothing logical about these people. So that's the problem. Like, once again, I still have not seen anybody say, yo, OJ, you were wrong on this, on what you said, and you didn't apologize. You were wrong, and I want to call. Like, there's nothing. It's just people getting salty about my opinion because I simply like Nintendo, and they're mad at X, Y, and Z. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. Let them get upset. Let them get mad. But I don't care. Like, I'm a grown man. Why are you worried about my opinion about if I like a video game system or not, or what game, or what games I buy, or what systems I sell? Why are you worried about that? That's none of your business. Who cares? It's not that big of a deal. Just like I do not care about what other people, in terms of what they buy, what they sell, what they like, or what they don't like. I don't like misinformation. I don't like people lying. So if I see somebody saying something that's not true, or if I feel that that is dishonest, I will say something. But at the end of the day, it's not enough for me to sit there and blow them out on a stream or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And act like it's crazy. So yeah, the problem is they can't discuss as an adult. They have to act like children. Yeah, that's the problem. Prefer debating smaller YouTubers because they think their smaller ones are easy to steamroll and the bigger subs have a home field advantage. Exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is, really. But it's okay. It's no big deal. We're at 45 on the board, though, guys. Shout outs to everybody here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the support, man. Let's go.
Overclock Buster!
Yes, sir. Shout outs to Cuts Lenovo with the 48 months. I'm doing good, Kevin. How are you? Although I would love to discuss Xbox. It's my favorite console of the three, but I think people are too quick on Xbox dead narrative. Here's the thing about it, Aries EMS. Xbox is not dead as a console, but what they're doing is that they're integrating into a third-party device. They're integrating into a third-party device, and the Xbox brand is not dead, but they're integrating it into a third party, which is a major change from what they've done before. But are they going to stop producing consoles? Absolutely not, because there's no reason to stop. Microsoft is in a very unique position compared to Nintendo and compared to Sony. Nintendo and Sony, because Microsoft is a huge, massive publisher that owns some of the most profitable, best-selling brands in the world. They don't necessarily have to stop making systems, but the era of, let's just say, the original Xbox, the Xbox One, the Xbox, and the Xbox 360, and the beginning of the Xbox Series is dead in terms of that. But the hardware itself, no, they're not going to stop making hardware. What's the point? Why do they have to stop making hardware? Their hardware doesn't do well, but they're just going to transition into, think of it as like PC parts, or thinking of it as someone who makes pre-builds. Think of it as that. It's like, hey, look, we're making a system that anybody can buy and enjoy the games that are on that platform. So that's probably going to be Steam, PC, that's going to be Xbox games, right? Whoever wants to make games on there, we don't care. We're going to take our games, we're going to put it on our platform, we're going to put it on other platforms. So it's really more of a change to like them being like Valve, something like Valve, or something like Good Old Games or something like that. You know what I'm like? Something like that's like a multi-platform. They don't have any exclusivity thing. They can still have a platform and still have, what they make. Obviously, GOG doesn't make hardware, but you guys see what I'm saying. Like Steam Deck, for example. Yeah, sure, anybody can make anything on Steam Deck. Valve puts their games on everything for the most part. Portal goes to Switch, right? It can go to wherever. So that's where Microsoft is right now. They've transitioned from a closed box device exclusive to a multi-platform box device, Shout outs to Caitlin and Justin with the $5 dono. Says, I trash talk PC handhelds, but I put over 80 hours into them, so I know the issues. I see through the BS. Yeah, and once again, I want to make sure that I'm clear with this too. Shout outs to Justin. You're allowed to like or dislike Nintendo, or like or dislike whatever. That doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's your time, your money, your effort, your whatever. But like I said, the craziness, the coming to the streams, the acting all wild about something that you don't like. There are people who like PC handhelds, right? Or who like PC. I do not go to and I'm pretty sure, Justin, you don't do this, right? If you're on a different stream and someone is talking about how much they love their ROG Ally or whatever, you're not like, oh, no, but, and sitting there, and you're not like those people do, right? You're not doing that. You're allowed to not like something, that's fine, but none of us are doing that. I know I'm not, and I hope none of you guys are doing anything that stupid, right? So, I think that's the point, Also, I played Darkstar 777. First thing he did was immediately said to Banana Guy that he's not a Nintendo fanboy. Genius move. like I said, I don't care, man. I don't really care about their debate. It doesn't matter to me, so there's no point in referencing it. I don't care. Even though I referenced it too, but the only reason why I referenced it is to talk about when he said people were, you know, people that are saying crazy stuff. Shout out to Caitlin and Justin though. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you like always. You are awesome. Thank you for the $5. 52 on the board. We out here. Combo breaks. Combo breaks in the house. Let's go, man. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Let's go. Let's see here. Xbox will still be selling as many hardware units as Ally. Well, I mean, I highly doubt that their ROG Ally is going to sell any significant amount of units, but we'll see. Chris the Shriner Dog with the $4.99 says, I just want to say the console wars never existed. Some systems did better than other systems, but people do have preferences, important part. So here's the thing about that, Chris the Shriner Dog. When I was younger, the console wars were definitely a thing, but the console wars were legitimately about the games. Like, they were legitimately about who gets what, where, when, how, and why. It was all about the games. And even so, yeah, it was still stupid, right? The console wars were still dumb, but it was who got what and how good were the games. Like, how did the games do? Who got what? Now it's devolved into something crazy, right? It's devolved into all sorts of other stuff. But back then, it was legitimately about the games itself, you know? So, Super Christian Miro with the $1 dono says thought about setting your streams up for 4K 60. No, because most people can't even watch the stream in 4K 60. You need a huge amount of bandwidth to watch a stream in 4K 60. So there's no point in setting up a 4K 60 stream. Not right now. Maybe later, but there's no point in setting up a 4K 60 stream right now. 1080p 60 gets the job done. So yeah, thank you for the $1 dono though. I appreciate it. Shout outs. Let's go. Do you think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on Switch to be true open world like Harry Potter? Xenoblade Chronicles 3 true open world like Harry Potter, getting rid of loading screens between regions? Do you think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 on Switch 2 getting rid of them between? No, it'd probably be the same. They would just reduce the loading screens unless they actually went back and redid the game. So no. Let's see. Also, bro, ROG Ally X seems like the same price as a mid-range laptops with better GPUs. Like, I'd rather use my $800 to buy a good mid-range laptop than Lenovo. Okay, yeah. I don't know how much how much is the ROG Ally X? I disagree. The console has always been real. All these Nintendo Switch, PlayStation games are going to be on sale no matter the sales go in the end. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Eric Williams. Around $800. Yeah, that's a... give me 1 second, guys. Let me turn on my air conditioner. It's getting to be summer where I'm at. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, it's already hotter in my room just because of all my equipment. And this room's not the biggest room, but it's okay. It's a good size. But anyway, like, $800 for a handheld system, that's not mass market. Like, nobody's really gonna, like, people are gonna buy it, but that's not gonna do really well. Like, that's not gonna do really well. Justin with the $4 dono. Let's go.
Put your dollars in your pockets. People can play whatever they want, just leave me alone and let me play my Kirby Air Riders in peace. Lol.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I feel. People can play and do whatever they want. I mean, I saw somebody, Justin, it was a while ago though, they ranted on me, I think it was like a couple years ago, because I said I would buy Super Mario Bros. Wonder for $60. And this person went on an insane rant that I would buy 2D games, like that I would spend my own money on 2D games. Like, it's wild, man. It's so crazy. Like, people just get as upset for anything these days. Cybertoast with another $10 dono says, you're cooking that room with that energy level alone. I know, man. Seriously, like, and then I start talking and then it just gets worse. Oh man, one of these days I'll have a huge streaming room. One of these days when we build, maybe when I'm gonna build my own house. I'm gonna build it myself with what's it called, with Garage Game Builder, and I'm just gonna stream from there. But no, I mean, one of these days I'll probably build a house, maybe, and I'll make like a dedicated streaming room that will not get so hot like this room. Shout outs to Cyber Taurus. Thank you for the $30 total so far. Appreciate that, Mr. Cyber Taurus. Yo, let's go. Thank you so much, man. JoJo's on the board. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Let them know that we are streaming. Hey, yo, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Let's go. I think we have 4 JoJo's on there. Let's get it. Let's see here. What's wrong with 2D games? Somebody got really mad at me and made a rant video because I said I would spend $60 on games like Sonic Superstars. Like, this was before it launched. Obviously, Sonic Superstars is not worth 60. I didn't buy it for 60. I bought it for like 20. But like I said that, yeah, if the game's good, I'll buy 2D games for $60. I don't care. And like, that's all I said. And that person went nuts on me because they're insane. Because there are people that are insane. That pocket watch. I don't know why you're pocket watching me on what I'd like to buy for my own money. Like, I don't get it. Like, just worry about yourself, you know? Just worry about yourself. So yeah. So yeah, many don't like to mention that PC handhelds tend to age faster. That's why the PC manufacturers have to release new model almost every year. I think that they do that, releasing new models almost every single year, because that's like what PCs do. So that's like, it's a PC. It's not, you know, so they yeah, that's what they do. They release new models every year. They're just using PC parts. So yeah. No, we can criticize other gamers. It's perfectly healthy. Just got to come with logic and reason. People hated on Dread for it being 2D full price. Yeah, and that's what somebody got angry at me about, because I said, no, it's worth the $60 for me. I think it's worth 60. And I played through Dread, and it's definitely it was worth the 60 for me, you know? Like, it might not be for you, and that's fine. You know, it might not be for other people, and that's also fine. I disagree, but for me, it was worth the 60 for me. And value's subjective. Like, you can have a game that's 3D that's not as good as Metroid Dread that's 2D, you know? So for me, it's about how good the game is. It's about what the game offers overall in terms of gameplay value and how good the game is to me. So, you know, I'll spend where I want to spend. Other people spend where they want to spend, you know? And that's fine. So yeah. Let's see here. OJ, I'm pocket shaming you for buying Switch 2 so many games. Shame. I know, seriously. The pocket watch shame is there. I bought Dread for that price. It was fantastic, worth every penny for me. Exactly. So I got Dread with my OLED, enjoyed it. Yeah. And like I said, even if you didn't like it, or if you didn't feel that it's worth it, that's fine too. Nothing wrong with that, you know? So yeah, nothing wrong with that. Your money, your choice. Exactly. Can't wait for Switch 2. I have my case and screen protector ready. Yeah. I think it's starting to kind of sit in that Switch 2 is going to be here before we know it. Like, literally 2 weeks from now will be Switch 2 week. Like, we're going to stream next week. I'll be actually heading to San Francisco around this time. Yeah, I'll probably take an early flight, as early as possible, to San Francisco in 2 weeks from now. As early as possible. Get on a plane, hop to San Francisco, get on 45-minute drive to San, or 45-minute, not drive, 45-minute plane ride to San Fran. So get on the plane, hop over there, get to there, and then spend a few days before prepping, getting ready, and then then streaming from my brother's place. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. So let's see here. So I'll be like, I can't believe that Nintendo show OJ's wasting his money on 2D games. It's beyond pathetic. Pathologically, be like me. Shut up, kid. Go take a nap. Exactly, pretty much. Hey, what's up, Fladius? Welcome. Mario Wonder was one of my favorite games from Switch 1. Yeah, Mario Wonder was fantastic. I spent 60 on that, and I thought it was incredible. I had a great time playing the game. So it was worth it for me. Like I said, not for everybody, but for me, it was worth it. So if the 2D game is good enough, if it's a high quality, good 2D game that I feel is worth the price, I'll buy it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. It doesn't matter. I'll buy that game. So yeah. Let's see here. People even get mad buying Pokemon games and call me being part of the problem. They're the games that look that bad. Yeah, people will get really angry if you support Pokemon games, because they're angry because they're like, hey, look, if nobody buys this, then we'll get something better from them. Which, I get that, but at the end of the day, like, here's what I'll say. At the end of the day, you control what you can control. If somebody else wants to play something, that's not your prerogative. That's not your problem. If you think that the game is bad, or if you think that it's terrible, that's fine. But you can only control what you can control. So don't buy it yourself, and then that's it. And that's how the markets always work. But trying to play into mass hysteria or mass semantics, or not mass semantics, but mass, boycotts and things like that, like, blaming them. If anything, just blame the company. There's nobody to blame but the Pokemon company. That's the only person to blame. You don't blame consumers for simply buying something that they want, because they don't have the same problems. They might not have the same problems that you have. Everybody's different, right? So you got to blame the actual product. You got to blame the people that made it. You don't blame somebody else that says, hey, well, you know what? I don't have a problem with that. I'm a competitive player. I play the game online multiplayer. The single player, I don't even really play that too much, so I don't really care. I play a lot of the competitive online multiplayer, or I play a lot of the raid battles, and it runs just fine, and it looks fine for me. So everybody has different things, right? Everybody has different stuff that they play the games for. So you can't get mad at somebody, or even like a content creator who plays competitively, right? Are they going to not buy the game? That's insane, right? That's their livelihood. They're going to want to play the game and play competitive, and they think that it's good in that front. So I think it's silly to sit there and try to get, you know, try to get angry at other people for simply buying what they want to buy. Like, everybody made their own informed decision on what they want to get, you know? If it's Game Freak's fault. It's not another consumer's fault for buying something, you know? So yeah. Shout outs to Deports and Sling with the $2. Says you should fly to Renton, Washington. Tips. Where are they? Yo, shout outs. Thank you, Deported Sling, for the $2. Those were just blame both the company and the consumers. I mean, yeah. And once again, it's weird. It's weird to do that. Yeah, what's up, Mr. Davis? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Yeah, I heard about the whole, it's like the 8K super sampling. It's not actually running the game in 8K. We're talking about fast fusion. So it's like super sampling 8K, and then like down sampled or whatever, right? So essentially, I'll let you guys know what Mr. Davis is talking about. So the specs came out for fast fusion on Switch 2, and basically it looked something kind of like this. This is what it looked like. They showed the performance mode for Fast Fusion. This is the racing game. Performance mode, 1080p, 60 frames per second, HDR. Balanced, 1440p, 60 frames per second, HDR. If you're wondering about 120 frames per second mode, it might come afterwards. They might patch it in. They're working on extra content, so yeah. Quality mode. This is all docked. Quality, mixed 4K, 1080p. 60 frames per second, HDR, menus and HUD overlays in 4K. So mix actually seems like a pretty good balance to get some 4K than some 1080p, or balanced even is pretty good. 1440p 60, that's gonna look incredible on the TV. 1440p doesn't look bad if done right. Let's see here. Ultra quality, 4K, 30 frames per second, HDR, super sharp visuals, ultra level of detail, ultra quality, 4K/8K shadow maps. So the shadow mapping, once again, it's like it's originally made in that, then like down sampled or whatever, like super sampled. Also handheld mode, you have performance mode at 1080p 60 with HDR, or ultra quality, which is 1080p 30 frames per second, HDR, ultra level of detail, ultra quality, 4K, 8K, and shadow map. So I don't know like how important all this 4K stuff is. I don't think it's really, I don't know why you'd even play the game in 4K. Like in 30 frames per second. It's a racing game, so I don't think that there's any need for that, but it's good that it's supported. I don't really care about the 4K stuff, but to me, this is good right here. Quality, mixed, 4K with 1080p with 60 frames. This is good. This is good right here, because you can get some stuff that looks good, like the overlays and stuff that are at 4K or look that good, and then you also get the smooth gameplay of the 60 frames per second, or even the balanced 60 frames per second, 1440p HDR. That's good. But here's the game. This is a 4K screenshot of the game, Fast Fusion. It's a racing game, so obviously, you know, you can do kind of a lot with that. You have a lot of bandwidth to create something, and this is an indie company that's creating this, right? So yeah. So here's another. This is a great screenshot. This is one of the most impressive looking screenshots right here. So this is one of the most impressive looking ones. This looks great. This looks way better. This right here looks better than Fast RMX, and the Fast RMX looked good. So here's another 4 players. Obviously, I don't think you're gonna get 4K all split screen, but here's the split screen 4 players that you can do on one system as well. There's more. I think that's it for the screenshots. But yeah, there's more on their website. Like I said, it looks good. It looks good. Definitely looks good. So yeah, good stuff. That's what Mr. Davis was talking about, like the whole 8K thing. Super Mario World, yeah, at some point. Yeah, blame Game Freak for it. I bought the Pokemon game. My criticism and the comments, so many people. I brought the Pokemon game to put up my criticisms. The comments, hopefully people give it a heads up. Yeah. OJ, what are the official spec numbers for Nintendo games outside of MP4? Nothing for Mario Kart 8. Why? Official spec numbers? Why? I don't know what you're talking about. Cybertorch with the $10 says, some random video of a guy trying to clap you. Popped up my feed this morning. Watched it for laughs. Best part was me in your chat at 3:43 in his clip. Dude seriously needs a hobby. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just making my streams more popular. Lately, I've been getting a lot more people. Like, my streams, we've been going up to, like, 250, 300, 300 plus. So, if anything, the people that are watching are just like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. He's actually kind of a lit streamer. Like, he interacts with this chat. He talks with them. He goes back and forth. You know, like, there's a lot of fun to be had. So, I think the people that are doing this realizing how much better of a streamer or content creator than the person actually complaining is. So, and I've actually had that. Like, yo, OJ, I came to your stream as a troll, but, dude, I watched your stream. It's actually a lot of fun. You're nice to us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you answer our questions. You know, it's fun here, so yeah. I don't mind. It's just free advertising. Shout out to Cybertorch, man. Thank you for the $10, but I appreciate it, man. Dude, I need some bigger content creators to do that to me. That's what I need. That's what I really need. I need some bigger content creators so I can get some even more attention. Shout out to Cybertorch. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's go. You just went over the specs with Fast Fusion. Where are the specs for Nintendo games? Nintendo doesn't really put out too many spec things, but they put out everything on, what's it called? Yeah, they haven't put out anything on the spec things. They put out specs on Metroid Prime 4, and that was it. We'll see the specs once the games come out and we get those analysis, or maybe because they're not finalized with all the specs so far, but they've only put out specs on Metroid Prime 4, so I'm pretty sure we'll get them later at some point. But yeah, they put out 4K 60 for Metroid Prime 4 docked. They put out 120 frames per second, and all that. So the other games, they'll talk about that later. So they're not talking about everything right now because maybe it's not finalized. So yeah, so we'll see. Let's see here. What's the name of the guy that trolls on DSP? Get him. What's the deported Sicilian? He's the guy that trolls on DSP so much. Shout outs. Thank you so much, Mr. Cybertorch. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Well, yeah, that's not a Nintendo first party game, though. Super Power Man was asking about Nintendo first party games. So Metroid Prime 4, they've got that. Looks like that's finalized, but they might have not finalized all of the specs and everything for all the other games. Maybe that's why they haven't talked about it, but I'm pretty sure we'll get them very close to launch or soon after launch. We'll probably get this, or somebody will do analysis on it. So yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't care about that. I don't care about his name, Mr. Davis. Who cares about that dude? Yeah, he's a weirdo. So yeah, it's all good. Switch 2 about to blow off the shelves. Pause. Okay. As for today, what is your hype levels for Switch 2? It's the same as it was before. It's a 10 out of 10. I'm super hyped for the system because I'm excited to play Mario Kart World. I'm excited to play and to see the other games, like to play some of the free update games. I'm excited to get into that. Like, I really want to see how Echoes of Wisdom. To me, that's another game that I'm like, okay, here we go. Echoes of Wisdom, Pokemon. So I'm excited to get into those as well. Also excited to get into Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild at, 1440p, 60 frames per second. But just 60 frames per second is like the big deal for me. Like for Tears of the Kingdom in particular, that game definitely, every time you pull out Ultra Hand, little dips here and there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom at 60. But I do want to go back and play. I actually started playing Breath of the Wild earlier this year, then realized, wait a minute, why am I wasting my time playing Breath of the Wild again, like on master mode? What's the point of doing that? Let me just wait for the Switch 2 when it's gonna be at way better, and that's what happened. So, Big J, what's up?
OJ, I have something to say to those who keep telling us what to spend our money on.
Okay.
Life is short, and we will enjoy what little time we have on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
We will enjoy our Switch 2s next month.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for the next Pokemon as well.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to the combo breaks, man. Yeah, spend the time the way we want it. Like I said, that's why I wanted to create something. For me, I wanted to create a community where the time that we do have on this planet, we can spend it having fun. We can spend it talking about stuff that we enjoy. We can spend it being, talking about that. We don't have to spend it being angry all the time. Like, people spend way too much time on the internet being angry about everything, especially new stuff that comes out. So, yeah. Let's see. It bothers me that not knowing the specs for Mario Kart World. At least on Treehouse, they said Kirby was 1440p, 60. Then don't buy it, Super Power Man. If that bothers you, not knowing the specs, or if that's like a, oh my gosh, like, you know, this, I don't know the specs or anything like that, that bothers you, then yeah, I mean, you don't have to buy it. But if I were you, go look at the 4K footage that Nintendo uploaded. Does it look good in your eyes? If it looks good, then that's fine. The specs don't really matter. When I first saw Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, I didn't care what the specs were. I saw it, and I saw it looking good, and I saw it running good. Don't get me wrong, specs are fine to talk about specs, but what do your eyes tell you? Go download the 4K footage and go watch it. Like, Nintendo has a direct feed 4K. Go clean rip it and watch it in 4K, and you won't even care what the official specs are. Trust me, that's what I did with Mario Kart. I don't know what the specs are for Mario Kart, but clean rip it and watch it yourself, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, it looks good. It looks super clean. So, but yeah, if you need numbers to tell you whether it looks good or not, I didn't need numbers to tell me Fast Fusion was gonna look good. I didn't need numbers to tell me that I was excited for Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, you know? So yeah, so either way. But if you're bothered by it, then that's fine. Then just be upset, you know? You could also do that too. But I'm not bothered by anything. If I don't know the specs, that's fine. Just show me what it looks like. If you show me what it looks like and that's representative of the game, I'm okay. Whatever spec numbers we get, that's fine. That's why I said, like, the whole 4K stuff with Fast Fusion is irrelevant to me. I don't care. The game looks good, you know? So yeah, as long as it looks good on my on what they show, I'm fine with that. I mean, I can visually see the game running at 60 frames per second. I can visually see the game looking a lot crisper and nicer. That's all I need to know. The other tech specs and all that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, how does it look when you see it on your screen or when you see the gameplay? You know. So yeah. Just watch the gameplay speaks for itself. Yeah, just watch the gameplay. Like, I actually have a clean rip. For those who don't know, I think, let me see, do I have a clean, I might have a clean rip. Yeah, here we go. So, you guys might not be able to see this, and maybe you guys haven't, but I actually took a clean 4K rip of the treehouse, and like I said, YouTube compression, my stream's only at 1080p, so I can't really help you guys out with that one. But if you look, this is non-YouTube compression, right? If you look at the gameplay, it looks like, this is, like I said, this is not YouTube. This is my own player that I have. So it's a direct feed footage of Mario Kart World. And from, I don't pixel count or anything, but it looks like a clean, like maybe 1440p. It looks super, super, super nice and sharp. Once again, this is not a YouTube video where there's compression. This is a clean rip download of the rip from YouTube. So you're not going to get the artificing and like some of the stuff that you get maybe like when you're streaming the video from YouTube, because everything's streaming, right? It's not actually like local hardware. So this is what like I said, this is what it's going to look like more accurately when you play it yourself. It's going to look, and this looks better than what they showed in the treehouse. Like when you're watching it live, it looks better. But I mean, like I said, there's a little bit of jaggies like on Mario's hat and stuff like that. You know, I don't know what anti-aliasing they're using or if any at all. But like I said, it's going to look great, man. Like with HDR and stuff, it's going to look way better. It looks way better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's for sure. So, like I said, it's okay to be bothered with some things that you don't like or whatever the case is. But in my opinion, when I saw this, I don't really care what the tech specs are, because it looks great overall. Like I said, it looks great from what I can see. So yeah. From what I can see and from what I can play, the animations and everything look really good. And it's way bigger as well than Mario Kart 8, obviously, like the tracks and everything. So yeah. YouTube compression still does apply if you download it yourself, but it's a clean rip of the game. It actually looks better from what I see here compared to what I saw on YouTube. It looks better on my own screen, at least. It's looking a lot better from what I saw, at least from what Nintendo put up. So that's just, like I said, that's just me from what I'm seeing. But either way, regardless, it looks good in my opinion. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I think the game's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, some people don't feel the game's going to be good. That's okay too. If you're not liking the game, or if you want to get mad at me for whatever you want to get mad at me for. So yeah, for people that are clipping get mad at me for whatever you want to get mad at. I mean, I'm looking forward to the game, plain and simple. So Let's see here. Let's see here. Two more weeks until we finally play it. Yeah. 2 more weeks till we finally play it. I mean, I would say this. With the better Wi-Fi chip that's in Switch 2, if you've got good internet, I mean, you can play it online in handheld mode, and it shouldn't be too bad, especially if they're using the new MPLN. If you have good internet, you know. Let's see. Deports the Sling with the $2 says, if you really crave fidelity, just get a Mario Kart IRL. That's true. If you really want the real Mario Kart experience, you just got to get it IRL. Shout outs, man. Thanks for Deported Sicilian with the $2 dono. Let's go. Combo breaks. What is this about Cyberpunk making people angry? We should talk about that. Where's my video? Where's my, what's it called? Okay, where's the Blunty's video on that? All right, yeah, we should talk about that. That should be something that we should discuss. So here's Blunty's video on this. I hopefully he doesn't get upset at me watching his video on stream. But this is what I was talking about with Cyberpunk and the people getting angry or upset. So
let's have a chat.
Hold up real quick. Make sure you guys all go check out Blunty's video. You know, overall. So go check out Blunty's video. It's cool. So I'm gonna link it. Subscribe to his channel. So yeah, go sub and check out his videos. They're good stuff.
About the criticism I had very frequently posted and reposted in the comment section of my
Man, I ain't worried about it.
Gameplay versus
Just give me the game already. Yeah.
2077 video, wherein
I want to read this comment though, because I think this is fair. I just think after 11 years, Mario Kart World should have more and look more impressive. It isn't much better than I, to be honest. I think you meant the Mario Kart 8. I mean, that's a fair assessment in terms of like looking better or after 11 years. I don't think 11 years changes what you can do like with whatever hardware that they have, right? So it can be 11 years and then like they have a hardware that maybe isn't much stronger or whatever the case is, right? But if you're looking at Mario Kart World compared to Mario Kart 8, I don't think there's really any comparison in terms of how it looks and how it plays compared to the previous Mario Kart. You've got 12 racers compared to 24. So you've got a doubling of the racers. Just to let you know, if the Switch 1 had Mario Kart 8 with 24 racers, it'd probably play like at 20 frames per second. So right off the top, like you have to factor that in, which I don't think that you are. Once again, that's fair to say that. Just like to what you're saying, like in terms of, oh, I thought it was going to look better. That's completely fair. But you also have to realize that they doubled the racer count from 12 to 24. Once again, if that was on Switch 1, that would probably buckle the frame rate down to damn near 20 frames. It wouldn't be at 60. That's what we know for sure. You definitely wouldn't be at 60. And then on top of it, not only does it have 24 players, but then it also has an open world, which Mario Kart 8 does not have an open world. And yet, despite the fact that it has 24 racers plus an open world and running at a good frame rate, and it still looks better than Mario Kart 8, there were definitely some sacrifices to be made. Now, if they made it to where there was only, let's just say, 12 racers, and it wasn't open world, they can probably make it look considerably better. But which one would you want? Would you want the flexibility of the open world and the new gameplay that you can bring to it that way, plus the 24 racers for more people? Or would you want way better graphics, but then also have the closed races and 12 players? Once again, it's a design decision. Like, what would you rather want? The designers decided to go with bigger open world, still looking better, but not like, oh my God, it's like a bazillion times better, but bigger open world, 24 racers, obviously a lot more stuff happening on screen, way better animations. They went with stuff like that, or even stuff like the water physics, right? In Mario Kart 8, you go underwater, there are no real water physics, whereas in this one, which I think goes by design too, because you don't want to have to design open world underwater, but they said, hey, we're going to make like jet ski water physics on top of that. So it's really a design choice. Like, I get what you're saying, but to me, they did enough, big enough changes to me that makes it a separate type of game and a much better game than Mario Kart 8. Because once again, you're talking from 12 to 24, you're talking completely closed tracks to open world. That is a huge difference, in my opinion. I can understand like the content stuff too, like, hey, maybe it should have a bit more content or things like that. So I get that. But graphics wise and gameplay wise, it looks like they've significantly improved upon Mario Kart 8, in my opinion. So yeah. Let's see here. I think for me personally, 24 racers adds more fun because you can play with more people. So when we play here, 12, sometimes we've had it to the point where we can't play with everybody here because there's we don't have enough. There's only 12 people. With 24, it adds more to the mix, and then you can also do stuff like Knockout Tour. Knockout Tour wouldn't really work with 12 people because everyone would be knocked out in like half a second, right? Because there's not enough people even in the race to begin with in order to have a really fun Knockout Tour. So the fact that you have 24 racers, that makes it to where a mode like Knockout Tour actually makes sense, or multiple teams, right? Before in the previous games, you can have 2 teams of 6. Okay, or maybe you split it up even further than that, but now you can have multiple different teams of 4. You can mix and match the teams, so it does create different types of gameplay and strategy and different styles to go with, like just to be able to play, for example. So yeah, like adding more racers definitely improves what you can do. Like I said, Knockout Tour wouldn't really work too much if it was just 12 people, just like a Battle Royale. A Battle Royale is like, if you can only have 10 people in a Battle Royale, that doesn't really make much sense, right? Battle Royale doesn't make sense. You need a lot of people for Battle Royale. Otherwise, that game mode doesn't work. You need 100 people for Battle Royale, or 200 people, or 50 people, right? You see what I'm saying? Whereas if you only have 10 people for Battle Royale, it doesn't work. It would be nowhere near as fun. I mean, it could still be kind of fun, but it wouldn't be, the idea behind a Battle Royale doesn't even work without a lot of people. So yeah, like these are the type of things that you can do when you add more racers into the mix. You can create new different styles of gameplay and modes and stuff like that. So that's what I would say. Yeah, the multiple teams. There's so many other things that you can do with that. So yeah. Let's see here. Do you know if Mario Kart World was developed off Switch dev kits or not Switch 2 dev kits? Why would it be developed on Switch 1 dev kits? It's a Switch 2 game. It was made for the ground up for the Switch 2, at least according to Nintendo. All right, let's continue on here. Do you think that they'll have a ranked mode where they use old boring point system for Mario Kart 8? I'm not sure what they're going to do for ranked mode and all that, so we'll have to wait and see. Let's see here.
Brand new direct from CD Projekt Red themselves, direct capture 4K videos of Cyberpunk 2077 running on the Switch 2, side by side with the game running on a handheld gaming PC with an exact and precise match to the so-called Golden 40 settings that the Steam Deck owner communities collectively agree on is the very best balance of performance and presentation for the Steam Deck for this game. And that is the same footage you're looking at in this video, except I've changed how it's presented this time for a very
casuals don't care about a huge graphical upgrade. They just care about playing their Mario Kart.
The horizontal frame for each.
So yeah, so we'll see, Rooter. We'll see.
Pixel for pixel side by
I wouldn't bet on that though. If I were you,
showing them full frame side by side at 50% scale to the original 4K recordings. And since this video has been edited and uploaded at 4K, if you are able to watch this full screen on a 4K screen, that means what you are seeing is effectively each screen presenting with the same pixel count exactly as it would when displayed on a 1080p screen, like the Switch's own built-in screen, for example. So before I bite in proper, let me be clear about something else. I actually removed a stack of these comments because they were hyper repetitive, and many, despite supposedly coming from different usernames, all shared identical or very nearly identical phrasing and were all posted in a very tight window and then stopped and then came back in another very tight window, almost as if someone or a few someones were trying to copy paste spam it endlessly using sock puppet accounts into my comments section because, well, they had an agenda of some kind. And no less than 4 of these supposedly individual accounts all went as far as to try and respond to literally everyone else's comment with these copy-pasted text over and over and over and over again. Yeah, here's the thing, you can't get away with that.
Yeah.
On my
I wanted to make sure that I was still subscribed to your channel, Justin.
I'm super vigilant about nuking that clown malarkey, and I caught them all, but I did leave up a couple that were not obviously copy-paste spam from stock puppet or bot-controlled accounts, because it's a sentiment that deserves addressing. So here is a representative one with some interesting tonal quality to it. You can't compare Steam Deck to a dock mode of the Switch, brah! You have to compare the Switch 2 in handheld mode to Steam Deck, which runs at lower settings and much lower resolution. So yeah, brah, take that comment and chew on it. I love how he thought this was such an own. Just throwing those bras out there and chew on it.
Thank you for the $5.
You know what,
Derek?
Brah, I did indeed.
10% more
brah,
Keanu Reeves.
Chew on it. Brah.
So, okay, so that's what he's talking about here. So I just want to just highlight that. He's talking about these people that are commenting on, like, acting crazy about the whole Steam Deck situation when he compared it and said that it was unfair. So Blunty talks about that, and there's other comments too. There was actually a number of comments. But essentially, he compares it again, as you can see, like, once again, the Switch 2 version has a bit more detail, looks a little bit better. Like I said, it's not anything crazy, but he compared it, and that's what's happening here. And some of these people are getting crazy. And I do want to go over one other thing that he talked about, or that he said here about trying to compare, like, to ROG Ally or compared to other systems, like using the same type of settings. Like, if you want like a true fair comparison between Switch 2 and like ROG Ally and other stuff. So
power profile, all these Steam Deck users seem so certain would be the most fair way to do this comparison. And considering the Steam Deck needs...
Yeah, brahhhh.
Bruh.
I laughed at that a little more than I should have.
Yeah, bruh.
15 watts TDP to reach 40 FPS
Shout out Cyber.
target in this game, in these settings. And we already know the Switch 2 can do 40 FPS for this game in the low power handheld mode for the VRR screen. I guarantee you the Steam Deck still loses on that comparison, because you'll have to turn those settings down even further to maintain 40 FPS in this 8 watt power matched mode. I don't tend to like to run my mouth unless I've done some diligence and fact checking, or indeed done the tests my own damn self. And I can tell you right now, even the much more powerful ROG Ally compared to the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally is way more powerful. It cannot run Cyberpunk at 40 FPS, even at the lowest settings in this game, in its own 10 watt low power TDP mode.
So this is the 10 watt low power TDP mode for the ROG Ally. This is how it's running it, bro.
That's what happens when you try that. This is as low as you can set the game to run. There are no more settings to turn down. It's at 720p with XeSS upscaling helping it out.
Damn.
Yeah. This is still using more power than the Switch 2 version will be using in its handheld mode, in performance mode, that targets 40 FPS at 720p to scale to the 1080p screen. Come on!
Damn. So that's what like a portable, a handheld PC is not the same thing as like a docked experience, or as a closed box system where they make the game for the system itself, because this is trying to emulate what the Switch does.
And we don't have any good extended game.
So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys. That's what pissed off the video before, is why he made this video, to do a better, or do a more thorough comparison, and that's the result that you get overall, you know. So sorry about that, Justin. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure that I was still subbed. I think it unsubbed me to your channel. I just want to make sure that I was still subbed for some reason. So yeah, shout outs to Derek. Thank you for the $5 dono. Shout outs to Derek. Thank you for the $5. And also Cybertrush, thank you for the $5 as well, getting us to 99 on the board. So thank you so much, man. So yeah, I mean, Switch 2 is target hardware, so it's not comparable. But the people were saying that he didn't do a fair comparison. So he did a fair comparison, because remember, before the Switch 2 came out, Digital Foundry, and there are many people saying that the Switch 2 is not going to be as strong as the Steam Deck. The Switch 2 is going to be irrelevant compared to the portable PCs. Heck, we had a article from IGN just the other day saying that. So I think that it's okay necessarily, like, if you want to bring up, like, okay, well, how does it look in this, you know, whatever. You can compare it to PS5 if you want to. Obviously, PS5 version is way better. That's fine. That's fair, in my opinion, at least. Now, you can give caveats. You can give, like, you know, asterisks, like, okay, well, yeah, obviously PS5, it's not a portable system. That's going to be very different from a system that's not portables. But at the end of the day, you know, the truth is what's important. That's really what matters and is the most important thing, you know. That's the truth. So yeah. Let's see here. People have been excited for third-party performance, but I'm more excited to see what first-party devs can achieve with the system. Imagine what they can do with the next Zelda. Yeah, I think listen, people are excited for the third-party stuff, and that's definitely a thing, but make no mistake, when the next Zelda drops, like, that is going to be what everyone is talking about. That is going to be a massive system seller because we don't know the direction that the next Zelda is going to go in. They've done their, you know, Tears of the Kingdom. They've done their Breath of the Wild. Like, they've done that. They're done with that. They're going to move on to the next thing. And everyone is excited to see what they're going to do next, right? So that's the cool thing. So, yeah. Now, let's see. What's up, OJ? I can't wait to watch you guys play Mario Kart World. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Listen. So, yeah, that's really it. 3D Zelda, next big 3D Zelda game, next big 3D Mario game. Those are going to be two massive, like, events for gaming at that time. Let's see here. Damn, the Switch 2's running Cyberpunk at 40 frames per second with 8-watt power. It's pretty good. Yeah, the ingenuity of the system is really well done, or the craft, I would say, is probably really well done. If they can get that at actually like a stable 40 frames per second in performance mode and looking good, I'd be very impressed with that. We'll have to wait and see, though, right? Not really sure Rooter. Let's see. Not really sure Rooter is going at, to be honest, with Cyberpunk. I don't know what he's fine. So what are the odds of Final Fantasy VII going to be on all in one game cartridge? The odds of Final Fantasy VII Remake? Nah, I don't think it will, but you never know. So yeah. We'll see. Let's see. Not using my Switch on handheld. I'm definitely going to be using it on handheld because if I travel or if I want to play lying down in bed, I'm going to be using it in handheld. ARM is super efficient. I think that's the big thing. It's super efficient as well. So yeah. Super efficient. Yeah, it's probably going to be a game key card, but you never know. I mean, they might actually think that Final Fantasy is warranting of a physical cartridge because it's a big game. So Square Enix was one of the few developers that actually used a 32GB cartridge on a Switch 1 game. Actually, they used it twice, to be fair. Square Enix actually used a 32GB cartridge twice on the Switch 1. They used it with Dragon Quest Heroes. Now, that was Japan only, but they used it with Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, and they used it with Final Fantasy X/10-2. So, if anyone's going to do it, it might be... I mean, listen, Square Enix could, because they used they're one of the very few developers that actually use the 32GB cartridge on Switch 1. So, we'll see. Will the Xenoblade Chronicles X on Switch 2 upgrade at launch? Not at launch. Not that we know of, but we'll see. We'll see later if they patch it. Because there was a 60 frames per second hidden in the code. So, it's there. We just got to wait. So yeah. The copium from Steam fanboys is nuts. There are some Steam guys. I think there's just a lot of really weird... A very vocal minority, really. So, yeah. Very vocal minority. So, Stephen Power, I know. Let's see here. So that's what was making people upset. Some people were upset because they felt that it's an unfair comparison. So Blunty did another comparison with it to show that it wasn't an unfair comparison. That's what happened here. So yeah. GameSpot stop as top game spot to stop for top games. There you go, Aaron. Shoutouts. Metroid Prime 4 launches September for Samus. Launches September for Samus. Okay. I don't think that's confirmed yet. Let's see here. They also made a KH stream only, so there's a mystery of what they will use. Yeah, we'll see with that. I mean, it would be really good if we got like that Kingdom Hearts collection. If we got that all on one cartridge, that'd be dope. Or at least if they just port it natively to the system, so there's no more need to stream it. I mean, at the bare minimum. Excuse me. Do you think Minecraft will come over to Switch 2? Well, Minecraft's on Switch 1, so naturally, yes, you'll be able to play it just backwards compatible. But will they make like an update? Probably. I mean, they'll probably do that. I mean, there's a 3DS version of Minecraft, so I'm pretty sure they'll make a Switch 2 version. How big is the file size for FF7 Remake on PS4? I'm not really sure, but it's definitely a large file size. Cyberpunk on Nintendo Switch 2 is not making me mad. Not at all. Cyberpunk on Nintendo Switch 2 is making me feel happy. Happy, not mad. Let's see. Although taking out other languages, voice files, and 4K textures might be tough. Get them 64 gigabytes. taking out other languages, voice files. I don't think they're gonna do all that when they port the game. Like I said, we'll see, guys. I hope Dragon Quest 12 will just release on Switch. Will just release on Switch 2. Dragon Quest 12 is probably gonna be multi-plat, but it's coming to Switch 2. But I don't think it's gonna be exclusive. So I don't think it's gonna be exclusive at all. Let's see. Hey OJ, I love how you make us feel dumb when we do a typo. I don't make you guys feel dumb. I read it the way that it's on there. Then I'm like, sometimes I kind of like trip up because it's a typo. So it's not. I don't try to make you guys feel dumb. Do I like Kingdom Hearts? No, not really. It's okay though. I played a lot of the games, but I'm not like I wouldn't say that I'm a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. No, but it's okay. Captain Kingston with the $20 dono says the Switch 2 does some sort of weird emulation to run Switch 1 games. Do you think that is might be a step towards future-proofing their own ecosystem for backwards compatibility? Maybe eShop won't go down like the others. It's definitely possible, but I don't think it has anything to do with like backwards compatibility or the shops going down, because Xbox 360 also does the emulation stuff for games, and the 360 shop went down. So I don't think that really ties into that. I think they did it that way because they didn't want to take a Switch 1 and jam it into a Switch 2 because of design purposes. So they had to find a way to get backwards compatibility that way. Usually Nintendo takes the previous system and jams it into the new system, but they didn't want to they didn't want to make the system bigger. They didn't want to do certain things like that. They didn't want to complicate the innards of it or make it a certain, like, more expensive in that type of way. So they had to figure out a way to get it done with emulation. So, I mean, I think that could be part of what you're saying, Captain Kingston, but I don't think it's the full picture. I don't think it's like the full thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, shout out. Thank you so much, Captain Kingston. Thank you for the $20 dono, man. Appreciate that. 119 on the board. Yo, let's go. Shout outs, guys. We have hit our further beyond 100. Let's go. You guys know what time it is. Limit break in the house. Let's go. Bonus string. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I don't mind the typos too, guys. I don't mind the typos. You guys are casually typing, whatever. I don't ever get on people for typos, by the way. You guys see how we always have typos, and how I never, like I might make a little bit of fun every now and then, but I really don't try to make fun of people that do typos or anything like that, because once again, you guys are just casually off your, maybe you've had a full day of work, stress, whatever. The last thing that you want is somebody where you come to hang out with is sitting there and criticizing you for typos. You know, like y'all been working all day, y'all been going through stuff, y'all here to enjoy. So I try not to say too much unless it's egregious or it's like atrocious. Then I might make a little bit of fun on there. Shout out to Captain Kingston though. Thank you so much, man. You are now the new stream ninja with the biggest donation of the stream, $19.99. Cybertor is still leading though. The Hokage stream, let's go. Big love with the 45. Anybody beats him up? Got my man Cybertaurus, but my man Captain Kingston, thank you for the multiple donos, dude. Ooh. We got what's it called? Castlevania music going. Nice. I didn't know Castlevania music was in my queue. I like it. Captain Kingston, let's go. Let's see here. I just remembered, I think Multiverses is shutting down soon. Dude, I actually played Multiverses recently. I went back to play it, and I played it, and I was like, this is garbage. And not garbage. It's not bad garbage. It's just the fact that the way that they handled everything shutting down, that was kind of garbage. But, yeah, it's just... It just makes you want to play Smash, to be honest. It just makes you want to play Smash more. No, but I actually played it, like, I think, like, last week or the week. Like, I was waiting for something to be done. I think I was waiting for my wife to finish cooking. I just needed like to burn like 5 or 10 minutes. So I updated it and I played it just one last time to really see, did I really like it? No, I played a couple matches online. I'm just like, no, this ain't it. And I just said, it's over with. Oh man. So yeah, Multiverses is shutting down for good this May. So yeah. Can't wait to play Borderlands 4 on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I'm honestly decently impressed with Nintendo Switch 2. Borderlands looks really good too. I mean, yeah, I'm not a huge Borderlands fan. Like I used to be. I used to play the games a lot, but I'm not like a day one Borderlands guy. So like when it launches, I'm not gonna buy it, especially if they say, oh, it's gonna be $80. You know, Randy Pitchford says, if you're a true fan, buy it for 80. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not a true fan. But for those that want it, they can buy it for that. But I always buy Borderlands games when they're discounted. So I'll probably pick it up later when it's discounted. So yeah. Nobody is mad about 30 frames per second games. Are you sure? And I know you're a troll. It's okay, Top Dog. You're a troll that came over here from somewhere else. So I won't entertain you too long. But are you sure nobody's mad about that? Are you sure? Do you want to bet money? So it's a yes or no question, Top Dog. You said nobody's mad. Okay. Are you sure? Do you want to put $50 on it right now? Are you sure nobody's mad? So just yes or no question. No comment, no emojis. Yes or no question. Are you sure? And I know, do you want to bet? Those are the two questions. I said no emojis. I asked you yes or no. I'm going to give you one more opportunity. Yes or no question. You know what I'm saying? Are you sure and do you want to bet? Answer. And no emojis. Just answer. Just say no, OJ. I don't want to bet you because I'm an idiot. Just say that and I'll be completely fine. Okay? Top Dog with a blank avatar. Come on, man. You're not even, these trolls aren't even trying, man. It's okay. You're upset. You're upset about the attention that your favorite platform isn't getting because you guys are weird. You guys are weird. There you go. See? And there you go. The truth comes out. There you go. The truth comes out. You Nintendo babies need help. You Nintendo babies need help. No, you need, we're gonna get rid of you in just a little bit, but you need help. You are so upset. You're so salty that people like something you don't like. You have to come here and try to insult other people over video games that they play. And I'm just gonna do this real quick before you go, before we get rid of you. If you have to tell people that they're babies over a video game, I already know that your mental level is not too high. I already know that your mental level is not too high. It's video games. You playing on Xbox and PlayStation, trust me, you're not very good at video games. I know that you're not. You like to talk. Guys like you like to talk. You suck at video games. Even on Xbox and PlayStation, what do you play? Show me your skills. Since we're babies, show me what you do. Show me some gameplay. Show me how good you are at games. You probably play Call of Duty. You probably play driving games like Forza. You probably play driving and racing and shooting and sports games, and that you think that you're mature or more better than other people. You're not. You suck at games. You suck with managing your time since you're here trolling. You're wrong on everything, and you're trash. So please, stop wasting your time. I can't stand people who are garbage at video games try to tell other people who are babies or not. Please, stop. It's video games, okay, little Jimmy? Jimmy, it's video games, okay? Trust me, it's video games. Relax, okay? Relax. Anyway, moving on. I knew he was a troll from the beginning. Let's just go ahead and thanks for coming out to the stream, though. I'm mad therefore OJ wins for $50. Thanks for coming out to the stream, little man. So yeah. So thanks for coming out to the stream. So you don't know a single adult who games on Switch. My man, you don't know anybody. Thank you for letting us know that you're an incel loser that stays inside and doesn't actually get out and play games or know people. Because trust me, if you actually went out and went to conventions or went and met people or played games with other people, then you would know that there's plenty of adults that own a Nintendo Switch. So we're not going to sit here and entertain you all night. We're just going to ban you. Like I said, thanks for confirming what I already knew about you. You're a loser that doesn't actually get out. I know plenty of adults with the Switch. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know anybody. You're just a weirdo that likes to complain about video games or likes to complain, like upset about for Nintendo for what? You're one of the people. You are one of those people. I don't know anybody that has a Steam Deck, to be honest. And that's for real, though. I don't know anybody, adult, kid. I don't know anybody. I've never seen one in IRL. Like, I know people that have a Steam Deck. Like, I know people that have one, but I've never actually seen a Steam Deck in IRL. I've seen Switches in IRL. I've seen adults. I've seen kids. I've seen plenty of people with Switches IRL, you know, but I've never even seen anybody with the Steam Deck. So, yeah, man, thanks for coming out to the stream. Appreciate it. Get some help. Let's see here. J2 with the $10 dono. Thank you for the big $10 dono, Mr. J2.
What up, OJ?
What up?
Do you think that MK World will have a 200cc mode?
Eventually.
It would make sense to have considering the tracks are bigger compared to 8 Deluxe.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy doesn't know he doesn't know a single adult. Shout outs, man. Thank you for the $10. I think that there could be a, there definitely could be a, what's it called? A 200cc mode added in later or at some point, or maybe even they have one. Maybe it's unlockable. I don't think they went over everything in the game, you know? So yeah. So yeah, it's all good though. Cybertoast with the $5 says, "Is he God now?" Yeah, I banned him. I banned him because we're not, like I said, we're not doing this thing where we go back and forth. We're not doing this thing where we go back and forth. You know, I asked him one question, he laughed. Obviously, he's a troll, so we got rid of him shortly after that. I'm not gonna be doing this whole thing back and forth. So that's the Cyber Taurus. I am gonna call him a name though. He's an idiot. He's absolutely an idiot because he is an idiot. So that deserves a name call because, like I said, he came here trolling and calling people babies and stuff first. So he's an absolute idiot. So yeah, Cyber Taurus with the $10 gifted memberships. Yo, thank you so much, Cyber Taurus with the 10 gifted memberships. Ayo. So that's the Cyber Taurus. Let's go. 20 on the board. Combo breaks and further than beyond. Yo, shout outs, man. A lot of you guys like when we roast the trolls. We have to roast the trolls. So a lot of you guys like when we roast the trolls. So we roasted the trolls. We roasted them. But then we're not, like I said, we're not going to spend all day going back and forth. Like, that's just not happening. Let's go. Shout outs to Clabby, Zero, Ghost Fixer, David, Jay Long, Matthew Hammond, Substantial Brandon. Thanks. I was waiting for him to be gone. Yeah. He's gone. He's gone. We banned him. Relic, Jamar, 3224, Jargungus. Yo, shout outs, man. Somebody asked a question about upscaled with Bravely Default. Should you be worried that it's upscaled? I mean, it's a port of a game, so I don't think we should be concerned. AI upscaling for town backgrounds, but unintentional upscaling is considered good or bad. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, the Switch 2 uses AI upscaling. So, I mean, if you're upset with AI upscaling for Bravely Default, then you should be upset with AI upscaling for Cyberpunk and for Hogwarts Legacy. I think that uses it. Street Fighter maybe uses it. So, a lot of the games are going to use DLSS and AI upscaling. So, there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah. So he sounds like a child. Don't lower yourself to his level. Oh no, we're gonna have a little bit of fun and call him an idiot. I'm sorry, man. No, he's an idiot because he is an idiot. He is an idiot. So it's not about lowering myself to his level. Trust me, there's no way I'll ever be as low as his level. So no, he's an idiot. So yeah, it's all good though. He's gone. So yeah, I'm not gonna apologize for calling him an idiot. He's an idiot. Let's see. So much for sticking to Nintendo and being a Smash killer, showing Nintendo who's the boss of multiverses. Yeah, that was the thing, right? That was the thing before. So that was the thing. So yeah. Just be a man, OJ. Take the drama and fight back. We banned him, so it's all good. Luigi's Mansion 4 set on a haunted town. My rumor. Your own rumor, Luigi's Mansion. Let's go. Justin with the $3 dono coming in.
Nintendo babies, that's crazy. Especially with how many crazy Steam Deckers have been crying here lately. Lol.
Yeah. Like, he just came here just to troll. He's not here to actually have a good conversation or discuss or whatever. Like I said, you don't have to like, you don't have to like that. But he said, nobody's mad about 30 frames per second, which there's a ton of games that are 60 frames, but whatever. But I think he's talking about Cyberpunk. So I said, are you sure? Because there were definitely people that are mad because, once again, portable PCs can't really run Cyberpunk at a look good and run the game at 60 frames per second. Like most portable PCs, even the highest quality ones at this point, will have a hard time doing that, especially if you talk about like the power profile to try to emulate the Nintendo Switch 2. So most can't do that. Now, if you're talking about like home consoles, then obviously, yeah, I think like Xbox Series, PS5 can run it most of the time at 60 with some frame rate dips here and there depending on what's going on screen. But we're talking about hybrids or handhelds or whatever the case is, right? But there were some people, it was, once again, Steam Deck people that were angry about that. So that's why I said, are you sure? Are you sure? Because like we literally had proof from Blunty's comment section of what he had to say. And like the comments are so funny because there's 200 plus comments. He's got 12,000 views, so it's doing pretty good. And people that were criticizing, stuff right here. And people are saying, why is it so hard to believe that newer hardware is better than older hardware? Like, I don't understand why people are like this. Dude, you read the YouTube comments, you get the feeling that Steam Deck sold around. This is my favorite comment. Dude, when you read the YouTube comments, you get the feeling that Steam Deck sold 150 million units. They're the vegans of gaming. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, you get the feeling when people go crazy about Steam Deck sometimes, man. You get the feeling like, is there like a lot of these people? There's like barely anybody that even has this thing in the grand scheme of thing. But they'll sit there and they'll get on a soapbox and absolutely try to dunk you down. They'll try to completely dunk on you if you say anything about their, you know, about a simple fact about a new system and all that, you know? Like, it's crazy. Johnny with the $2 super sticker, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I think that there's plenty of opportunity and space for Steam Deck to be Steam Deck and for it to do what it does and to have the audience that it does. And for there to be another Steam Deck, like a Steam Deck 2 is probably going to come out at some point. That's going to be super powerful. And it's going to play a bunch of great games. And it's going to do all that. People say it's way better than Switch 2 or way better than... And that's fine. There's complete opportunity for all of these platforms to come out and have their audience and have their base, you know? So that's, in my opinion at least, that's just what I think. So yeah. This is why vegans always got to catch strays. That was kind of a stray. But maybe because vocal minority. Let's see here. It's funny because PC fans apparently try to downplay the Steam Deck sales. They do. Well, at first they weren't, but now, I mean, at first they weren't trying to downplay. They thought it was doing really good, but then when it was revealed that the sales where they're at, all of a sudden it turned into a That was not a good day in some of these hardcore PC. Because, like, remember, we didn't know the sales numbers, but all you saw was, oh, they're sold out, or, oh, they're selling really good, or, oh, they're this. And it was like, oh, yeah, it's selling. Here we go. Switches are relevant. All these stupid videos. And then we got the sales numbers. Then all of a sudden it was gagged. Completely gagged. Vegeta, what's the scouter say about the sales numbers? It's under 9,000. I'm joking. No, I'm just joking around. I'm more like PC fan. We try to downplay Switch 1 sales or get better yet, sales don't matter. Yeah, they don't matter anymore. They don't matter anymore. So let's see. Steam Deck is outdated and performs horribly. Sold mine. I mean, that's fine, man. You're allowed to sell whatever you want or get what you want or whatever the case is. Did you get like a ROG Ally or did you get something else instead, Sensel, or did you just say screw it, I'm done with it? So yeah, got my Steam Deck for free from a giveaway. I mainly just use it for emulate older games and play PC ROMs. Yeah, that's cool, Slate Hood. Yeah, that's a cool thing to do with it. Like the emulation and stuff on there is really good. It's good for that for sure. I got a PS5 Pro selling it original for the price selling on the original price increase. Selling the original on the price increase. Oh, okay, I got you. Let's see, dude. I usually just lurk and chill, but that was hilarious. Hi, Virginia. What's the scholar say about the sales? Oh man, so that's just with the $3 dono.
I will never understand why people just care about the hardware. So they ever play games, or do they just benchmark?
They just bench press, but benchmark instead. Like you're bench pressing the benchmark. That's what they do. They bench press a benchmark. That's the first. I remember the first time that I heard of somebody calling it a benchmark. I said, I think I said that back in the day. I'm like, why would you bench press graphics? I think that's what I said because I did not understand PC game. I think I saw online somebody said benchmarks. I was like, and I thought to myself, bench press? I'm like, why would you bench press graphics? That makes no sense. Or I was thinking that they measure it in a bench press. Like, it's like the PC's going, hitting bench presses. I did not know what benchmarking was. So I remember that just kind of popped into my brain. I remember that, like I said, decade plus ago when I was first getting on the internet, talking about gaming. So that's the Justin though. Thank you for the $3. We are going. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a midnight launch. Sales don't matter unless it's Wii U. Go back to lurking, bro. Go back to lurking. No, I always encourage people to comment and stuff like that. If you can. Big love to shout outs to what's it called? To Cyber Taurus. Thank you for the 10 gifted once again, man. We are close. We're trying to hit 500, back at 500. So if you haven't become a member, it's only $1, exclamation mark member. Get you in on our Mario Kart World gameplay streams too. So that should be fun. So yeah, shout outs. Let's go. Cyber T, thank you for that 10 gifted memberships, man. I appreciate that. Big love. All right, let's see here. How come Steam Deck is always constantly on top of Steam charts? Does that mean the other games aren't actually selling much on Steam? No, that doesn't mean that. It just means that in the listen, it just means that in their charts, people are buying Steam Deck. I don't know how Steam or Valve does their charts. I'll be honest, I don't know how they do their charts, but you know, they don't say the units. They don't actually give us sales numbers, so I think it might be based off revenue. So Steam Deck is like 500 something, $600. So if it's based off of revenue, then obviously Steam Deck would always be in the charts. If you're selling, you know, let's just say you're selling like 1,000 of them a month or whatever, or 2,000 a month, then obviously you're going to generate a lot of revenue from that. So I'm not sure how they even do their sales charts. Let's see here. Here's a better one. Best quote: "It's dumb to compare a $700 system to a $300 system." I haven't seen Campy in a while. So yeah, yep, I got the Legion Go. Super happy with it. Not a fan of Linux operating system. Always try to get non-Steam games working. Yeah, I don't even want to deal with all that. That stuff just made me like, when you start talking about, I'm not a Linux gaming operator, I don't even care enough to even worry about that. I think maybe that's why I'm not into PC gaming as much. Like I bought a PS5 Pro and I've been ridiculously happy with that. Just getting I know it's not as good as like my PC, or not as good as what my PC can do, or at least the top end of my PC, but it's good enough. It gets the job done for what I want to play, like Clair Obscur Expedition 33 and Assassin's Creed, you know, or whatever, right? It gets the job done for most of the big third-party games. So Metaphor Refantasio, obviously it handled that. You know, the game wasn't necessarily the best optimized for the PS5, but yeah, so it works for all of that. SMT5 Vengeance ran SMT5 Vengeance perfect on there. So yeah. No, I just got the regular PS5 Pro. My PS5 broke, so I had to make a business decision. Literally, I was right in the middle of capturing Atelier Yumiya, and I was capturing for, you know, just for gameplay, Atelier Yumiya, and just to talk about it, and Assassin's Creed. And right in the middle of me capturing footage and for like big games coming out back in March, my PS5 broke. My PS5 HDMI broke. So it still worked, but it didn't connect to my capture card. So I had to literally rush out and just get something right then and there. So yeah. Instead of just put out a new profile icons for Switch Online members, redeem with silver coins. Yeah, it's all good. Shout outs to that. Sales don't matter until it concerns other consoles. Well, the thing about it is that people told us sales don't, but people were constantly hounded about the Wii U. Wii U got so much stuff when it comes to sales, right? Because it didn't do well. So, and people were talking about how the Switch 1 was going to flop. People are talking about that, you know, oh, that's how it's going to fail. Switch 2, even some people were saying that, right? So people always say something doesn't matter until it does, until they need to make a comparison, or until their favorite piece of plastic is X, Y, or Z, right? Cybertorch with $10 says, your PS5 broke or you ninja kicked it. I ninja kicked it, yes, but that was years ago, and it worked just fine after I ninja kicked it. And yes, when I ninja kicked it on accident, it was a Cobra Kai kick, actually, Cybertorch. And when I kicked it on accident, it cracked the HDMI on the back. It cracked, which HDMI is actually pretty easy to crack. So yeah, that's what happened, Cybertorch. But it still worked. Like, it still, the capture footage, it still could hook up to a capture card and work, but I don't know what happened. It stopped, the capture footage stopped working, so I had to, it still works, but I couldn't capture anything on there, so yeah. Cobra Kai never dies, but your PS5 does. I know, seriously. Shout outs to Cybertorch with the $10 dono. We out here, combo bricks.
Just looked into the Steam sales chart. It says top 100 selling games right now by revenue. So it's revenue.
Yep. So yeah, revenue. So that's the reason. So as I suspected, the Steam Deck will sell, like, let's just say it sells 1,000 units or 2,000 units or whatever per week, or whatever the case is, right? So obviously they're selling those for $400 bare minimum, all the way up to $650. So yeah, the games being sold are what, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So there's not going to be many, like, you'd have to sell like 5 or 6 copies of your game, right, at full price to match even like the lowest, or 4 or 5 copies. That's like the lowest Steam Deck. So yeah, that's the reason why it's up there on the sales charts. Which, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Nintendo also goes by revenue as well. Well, they switched to go by revenue now, so there's nothing wrong with that. But that's the reason why it's up there like that, you know? Shout outs, though. Let's go. What's up, OJ? Is it worth upgrading to PS5 Pro? Thanks. If you like third-party games, yes. If you don't play PC gaming and you really like third-party games, yes. Because everything is made with PS5 in mind. PS5 is the base default platform for most games. So you're usually going to get the best version of the game is usually PS5, usually. For third-party games. So if you like PS5 and you like third-party games on PS5 and you really enjoy it, then PS5 Pro is worth it. And if you like, you know, like let's say Ghost of Tsushima, right? You want to get the best out of a game like Ghost of Tsushima or Returnal or Ratchet and Clank or Sony's first-party games, then it's worth it. But once again, you have to be into those games. Like, I bought it because I'm a content creator and I need it for whatever games that I want to play content creation-wise. So I bought it for that, right? But if I wasn't a content creator, I wouldn't have even bought a PS5 Pro. I would have just my base PS5 was perfectly fine, you know, and it ran games great. PS5 is a powerful system. It's still really good 5 years later. I think even 7 years from now or 8 years from now, you can probably still play PS5 games and be like, yo, this is great. It works just fine. You know, I'm saying that, heck, with sometimes PS4 games, I'm saying that. So yeah. So only if you're really into playing the third-party games and Sony's first party in terms of like you enjoy that. So if you are, then PS5 Pro is worth it. But if you already got a PS5 and you know and you play the games on there and you don't have a problem with the performance and stuff or how it looks, then you don't got to get a PS5 Pro. So yeah. Let's see here. Wii U actually did create one of Nintendo's most successful new IPs though, which is cool, Splatoon 1. That's true. It did. Justin with the $3 dono. Yes, Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors is looking good.
Oh, yes, we need to watch that. I have a video tomorrow on Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, but we can watch the video today, too. We can watch that creator voice, too. Let me just get some more questions and comments in from you guys. If you guys have questions, comments, let me know, and we can talk about it as well. So, yeah, don't go to midnight launches. So, let's be on the first one for me. Oh, nice. Nice, let's go. Will most PS4 games work on the PS5 Pro? Yeah, PS5 is fully backwards compatible with PS4. I think there's like one game that doesn't work really good. I don't even know what game that is. So yeah. I actually kicked my PC tower and had to catch it. Called my bro to help me save it because it weighs a ton. Nice. Let's go. A lot of gamers are still playing their PS4 Pro. PS4 Pro is still a good system. Honestly, I enjoyed my PS4 Pro as well, like playing the third-party games that came in on there. It was good. I mean, I just wish I spent a little bit more time with it because I only bought it. I think I bought it in 2018, and then like the PS5 came out in 2020, and I got that day one. So really, it rendered it almost useless. But PS4 Pro is a good system. The only problem is that the huge bottleneck with the CPU, because the GPU is really good with that system. Like, it's much more powerful, but they really can't do anything with that because the CPU is just still that Jaguar CPU. So that's what held back the PS4 Pro from potentially even doing better when it comes to games. Xbox One X, I did spend a bit more time with that system, and I felt that system was pretty good, but it wasn't really anything to play that I played that Microsoft released on Xbox One that really got me excited. By the time that Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out, I wanted to play that on Xbox, but Xbox Series was out in 2021, so I just played it on my Xbox Series X, which that ran at 4K, I think, was it 4K 120? That ran like at 4K 120. It was fantastic. So yeah. And the games were really good. So yeah. I'm telling you guys, the first games on PS6 will have PS4, PS5, PS6 logos on them. Yeah. You know what? Something tells me that Sony might drop PS4 games and make it to where maybe you can stream PS4, but it's just backwards compatible with PS5 and PS6. Or obviously backwards. PS6 games and PS5 games backwards compatibility. Then maybe PS4 you just stream it. Something tells me they might drop PS4, but we'll see. Because there's really no point. Most PS4 games are on PS5, like through free upgrades or just through whatever. So yeah, there's like really no point, right? I mean, yeah, there's a point, but you guys see what I'm trying to say. Let's see, Best Buy midnight, June 5th. Probably need to ask to go pick up this thing. Yeah, make sure you get the times right. I'm not sure why you guys are talking about Astrobot and Mario Odyssey Game of the Year. It's like, what does it matter? That's irrelevant. Who cares? Astrobot came out in 2024. Mario Odyssey came out in 2017. They weren't head up against each other. So yeah. So you guys need to stop arguing about it because there's no point. It's irrelevant. They came out in two different years. They're both good games, you know. So yeah, what does it matter? Who cares? Project Scorpio. What's up, Boston Manny? You mean like drop PS4 physical games? Yeah, just like drop backwards compatibility with PS4 physical games. Yeah, drop back. Like you can maybe stream them or something. Maybe they'll have like a streaming service with them. But yeah, just drop backwards compatibility with PS4 games or something. I don't know if they're gonna have where you can play PS4, PS5, and PS6 games. I mean, dude, that would be incredible if they make if they make the what's it called the PS6 and it can play 3 generations of Sony games. Like that's awesome. But I saw what happened with the PS3, and yeah, they dropped that pretty. They dropped that pretty quickly. So. But maybe because obviously the PS1 and the PS2 a little bit different in terms of the architectures and how you do that on the PS3. But yeah, they dropped that backwards compatibility into newer models. So I'm not sure if they're going to do that. So yeah. What's up, Rajiv? Welcome to the stream, man. How you doing today? How come you stopped the Mario vs. Astro debate in the chat? How come I stopped the Mario? Because it's stupid. Because these two keep on going back and forth. I allowed it for a little bit, but they keep on going back and forth. So there's no point. Like, what does it matter? Like, who cares? Astrobot is a good game that came out in 2024. Mario Odyssey is a game that came out in 2017. Why are they arguing about which one's better at this point? That is like we already did that last year. What's the point? We're halfway almost into 2025. What are we talking about? Mario Odyssey and Astrobot. Like, stupid. I'm not gonna ban them. I'm just gonna tell them like just to chill, guys. It doesn't matter. Like, you guys really gonna argue all night about that? Because it looks like they're gonna argue all night about it. So yeah. Let's see here. Some dudes have a problem. Astrobot won Game of the Year. Look, I don't think Astrobot deserved Game of the Year. I don't think it did. I think Metaphor Refantasio deserved Game of the Year. But it is what it is. Like, it's fine. But Astrobot won Game of the Year because the journalists are mainly PlayStation focused and they played Astrobot. That's the game that they played. They didn't play Metaphor Refantasio. They confirmed that by what they spoke about Claire Obscure Expedition 33, how they talked about, oh my god, this is the only RPG that's ever turn-based RPG that's ever done anything interesting. It's like Metaphor just came out last year, so they didn't play Metaphor. So I understand that, like I get that, but that's the reason why Astrobot won. Astrobot won because they don't like, you know, Japanese RPGs. That's the reason. And they didn't play Metaphor Refantasio. The majority of people, which I guessed this, I said this last year, I said Astrobot's going to win because they're going to actually play Astrobot. They're not going to play Metaphor Refantasio. So that's the reason why it won. It won because they played Astrobot, and the majority of people that are voting are mainly PlayStation fans, which is okay. And that's like, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just kind of what it is. And that's why I can guess who's going to win Game of the Year most of the time, because I follow a lot of these guys on Twitter, or I see their posts come up and I see what they talk about. And whatever they talk about the most is the game that always wins Game of the Year. Whatever they talk about the most always wins Game of the Year. And I've been right like damn near every year since like 2019. Like 2019, I didn't get that one right. I didn't know what the hell was going to win. But after that, like for the last 5 years, I've been right on every single one because I see what they're talking about on Twitter. And, you know, so it was easy. It was easy to guess what was going to win, you know? Let's see here. Why even compare Nintendo and PlayStation? I buy both. It's really stupid. People like to compare stuff, and that's fine. Obviously, the real game of the year is Black Myth Wukong, according to somebody. I don't even know who said that, you know. So yeah, it's embarrassing how many people, so they haven't played Metaphor by how they praise Claire. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're talking about how, oh my god, it's the only turn-based RPG that's ever done a mature storyline. It's like, with adults. It's like, what? Everybody in Metaphor is an adult too. They're all in their 20s. They're all in their 20s. I think maybe the main character, I think maybe he's like what, 18 or something like that, or 19 or something. But like they're all like in their 20s and older, or even older. You know, Heisman is like old. So it's like, what are you talking about, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. This style and story of art direction can steer people's opinions. My buddy who loves JRPGs even says he finds the stories corny at times, so Expedition 33 was probably a breath of fresh air. No, it's great. Expedition's awesome, but really, Expedition just takes a lot of things that was in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That story, or that style of the story and everything, in terms of, it's literally similar in some aspects to Xeno 3. But yeah, if you want to talk about like style, tone, story, whatever, but there's plenty of JRPGs that have similar aspects in terms of that. But obviously, the graphical look, the look of it is very different. But Xeno 3 has tons of parallels to Metaphor Refantasio. Or sorry, not to Metaphor, to Claire Obscure. Shaw X the $5 dono says Metaphor was robbed. God damn. Yeah, Metaphor robbed. Maybe it was robbed a little bit. Rob Parkered. Didn't Grums and many grifters who whine and complain about Black Myth Wukong should have won Game of the Year? Did they? I don't know. I don't follow him. I think I have him muted or blocked. So yeah. The chance that Donkey Kong Bonanza could win Game of the Year? Absolutely no chance that Donkey Kong Bonanza wins Game of the Year. Zero chance. Hi, OJ, do you not care for the new Cyberpunk game? It's not really new. Cyberpunk 2077, that's an old game. But no, I'm not a big Cyberpunk fan. I played the game back in 2020 on PS5, and I'm not a big fan. I'll buy it so I can support the physical cartridge and all that, but I'm not a huge fan of Cyberpunk, no. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Omar David? Shout outs, man. Grums is mentally challenged. Yeah, I mean, listen, that guy, he's a complete weirdo. Complete weirdo. So whatever on him, you know. Whatever. Steam Deck is very successful when you compare it to Steam Machine, which Valve tried previously and basically failed. Yeah, sure. Nobody said that Steam Deck wasn't successful in its own right. The problem is when people try to compare it and say stuff like, I've seen videos literally that say Steam Deck makes Nintendo Switch irrelevant before the Steam Deck, I think, even launched, like when they announced it. So that's all I'm trying to say. It's like there were people that were literally trying to put it in the same lane as the Switch, as if it was actually going to make some type of impact on the Switch. It's made zero, nada, nothing, zilch. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then when you spoke out against that, or if somebody spoke out against that, they're a shill, they're a fanboy, they're a bootlicker, they're all this stuff, right? So the stupidity that is spewed from some content creators, you know, is what caused people to even start comparing it in the first place. When I first saw the Steam Deck, I didn't compare it to the Nintendo Switch at all. I'm like, oh, it's a portable PC. We've had portable PCs before. Obviously, this one's, it's Steam, it's branded, Valve and all. That's a bit different. But it's not the first time that we've seen a portable PC. But it's just a more user-friendly portable PC. But I didn't compare it. I was like, yeah, this thing's not going to be, this is not like Switch, right? This is not going to be any type of competitor to Switch or to even like 3DS or to even like, it's not going to sell like even like PS Vita. I knew that it wasn't going to sell like even like PS Vita or like even Wii U. I knew that it wasn't going to do, like, nobody buys portable PCs like that. Now, it's a market that can grow. Clearly it can grow, or it's growing from when we first got portable PCs, but it's not quite up to that level yet, right? So I didn't really compare. I actually tried to buy one at first, but then I couldn't because it just shut me out of there. But then I started seeing a bunch of videos of people saying that it's what's it called? It's gonna make Switch irrelevant, and people started name calling and started calling Nintendo fans crazy or delusional for downplaying Steam Deck and all. And I'm like, oh wow, like people really think that it's gonna sell like Switch? Okay. Or people really think that people are gonna stop buying Switch because of Steam Deck? All right, sure. So that was really all that it came down to. And obviously they were wrong, so. Let's see here. The bootleg gets me every time, yeah. Because I remember you mentioned Grums, you said BMW should have won Game of the Year, didn't even play it. Yeah, I don't care about Grums, he's a weirdo. I would be surprised if GTA 6 didn't win Game of the Year 2026 if it isn't delayed again. We'll see what else comes out in 2026. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of big games. Yeah, PS Portal is the reason why Steam Deck failed. PS Portal? Yeah, I doubt it. Steam Deck didn't fail, though. Like, I don't think Steam Deck failed overall. So, I don't think the Steam Deck failed. My phone's going off. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't think Steam Deck failed. I just think that obviously it's not quite up to the level of like a dedicated system like a 3DS or like a PSP or like a Switch, which is a hybrid, but it's not quite up to that. Let's see here. Still don't know why Nintendo sells games cheaper in America, because they love Americans and they hate everybody else. Let's see. I don't know if you've mentioned him yet. I've been watching. How do you feel about Crap Gamer? Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. Steam Deck failed me. Yeah. I'll be honest, guys. I don't care about a lot of things. A lot of other content creators like NBA. He's on fire. NBA Jam. I don't care about a lot of other stuff. I care a lot about you guys. I care a lot about the community here. I care a lot about, you know, my friends that I collaborate with, whether it's the Spawncast and the, you know, the people there. But I don't really care about a lot about other just random creators that say whatever. They say what they want to say. It's fine. It's not my business. So, Steam Deck saved gaming. All hail Lord Gabe. All hail Lord Gaben. You guys want some good? You guys want some good news? You guys want some good? You guys want some really good news? Let's talk about this real quick. Tekken has some of the best music. People don't realize how good the music is in Tekken. All right, so we got a new creator's voice. I love the creator's voice videos from Nintendo. They're very good. Because remember when Microsoft did Microsoft does a whole developer direct where they have like a presentation for the developers, and I said that that's not the format to do it because I don't want to hear developers speak like in a direct format. Like it's okay and it's fine, but it should just be YouTube videos. And I'm so glad Nintendo probably saw. I said, oh, okay. Well, even though they already did like developer talks before, like the Iwata S, right? They've done that and they've done this style before. But I'm so glad Nintendo didn't turn the creator's voice into like a direct presentation or that style. Just release them as videos on YouTube. And that's what they did. That's what they did. Like they did something like Xbox's developer directs. And don't make it a live stream. Don't put it up. Just release the videos, you know? And I like they just released the videos on YouTube. So I really hope that they continue with that because it's great. I don't have a problem with hearing developers speak about a game, but in my opinion, and once again, this is just, that doesn't mean I want Xbox's developer directs to stop. They can still do the developer directs. It's fine. If I don't feel like, I don't have to watch, right? Or I can just watch it later on YouTube. Or I don't have to. So I'm just saying like what I would pick for a format would not be a live stream for that. That's like, just release individual videos, each game. Boom, 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 boom. And then it's just and then release them. It's so much better that way. So let's see here. The person starting with the $5 dono says Gaben would probably admit that the Switch helped pave the way for Steam Deck market penetration. Also, Gaben is fat. Okay. I don't know what that personal attack was at the end there. There was no need to say. But yeah, Gabe Newell did say that. Yeah, Switch was he did admire it and say it did help. But yeah, there was. Okay, yes, Gabe Newell is he's a big boy. He's a big boy. All right, so let's see here. Let's get into this. Let's get into this right here. All right. This is the creator's voice for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment.
将来何の仕事したいとかあんまり
Growing up, I hadn't really thought about what I wanted to do for a living. I ended up in games industry as a developer for a gaming company, and I think I stayed largely because I love video games and I've always enjoyed making things.
まあそれでかなっていうのはありますね。好きなことを
I wanted to do what I love for a living, since games were what I enjoyed the most. 大学もやっぱりなんか I wanted to study something in college that I could use in game development.
勉強しようみたいな思ってたので、 導かれたようにゲーム
In that way, I felt like I was destined for this career,
そこからずっとゲーム漬けです。
and I've been immersed in games ever
本
since.
作はゼルダの伝
This game
説
takes place
ティアーズ・オ
during
ブ
the
ザ・キングダ
imprisoning
ム
war,
の中で断片的に描かれた太古の封印
which is
戦争
shown
の
in
時代が舞
fragments
台
in The
になり
Legend
ま
of
す。
Zelda
原初
Tears
の
of
ガ
the
ノンドル
Kingdom.
フの脅
In
威に
this
人
Hyrule
々が
Warriors
どのよ
game,
うに
you'll
立ち
see
向
how
か
the
ってい
people
くのか
contended
を
with the
それ
threat
が
of the
そ
original
の遊び
Ganon.
として体験することができます。
As a story that you can only fully experience here, it doesn't just depict the battles of the imprisoning war via a warrior's game. It also shows life in the kingdom of Hyrule after Princess Zelda sucked back to the past. You also get to know the four master sages from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There are many other secrets hidden in this ancient world, so I highly recommend playing the game. For those playing a Warriors game for the first time, this title will allow players to experience the thrills of the 1 versus 1,000 battles and have the opportunity to play a major role in saving the world.
今回、封印戦争の史実をそのまま描いていまして、そこで描かれ
Here,
ること
the
って
game not only
そのプ
tells
レイヤー
the
の方
history
が
of the imprisoning
封印
war,
戦争をいかに戦って、
but also tells the player's own story of how they
救えるか
fight in the war
その
and
人
save
の物
Hyrule.
語になるので、それぜひ体験していただ
I
きたい
hope
なと
you'll
思います
experience this tale for yourself.
大軍を一掃
Common
して
elements of the
で
Hyrule
強力な
Warriors
ボスに
games,
は空を持
such
って
as wiping out
立ち向かう
hordes of
という
enemies
ベルダ
and
ム
finding
ソーシリー
creative
ズ
ways to
の要
take
素に
on
関して
powerful
は
bosses.
任天堂スイッ
Have
チ
been, okay, so I'm going to pause it here and talk at sometimes here because this is what I wanted to stress. I'm also going to talk about this a little bit more in my video tomorrow, so make sure you guys, because I did an analysis of this, so make sure you guys watch my video tomorrow morning, 4:30 a.m. PT, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. I got this and I got other news on Metroid and other stuff, so make sure you guys watch that video tomorrow morning with a little bit more of an analysis talking about everything with this, but I wanted to just focus on this for right now because it fixes one of the issues that I have with the original Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So, they talk about the gameplay elements. Let me just rewind real quick. Okay.
は任天堂スイッ
Have
チ
been
2
refined
で
and evolved even more on
進
the
化
Nintendo
させてい
Switch
ます
2 system.
アイテムの組み合
One
わせです
distinctive
とか
feature of this
仲間と
game
の
is
協
that each
力な
player
ど
can
プレイ
devise
ヤー
their
それ
own
ぞれの
strategy
攻略要素
by
っていう
combining
ことが
items
本
or
作の
teaming
特
up
徴
with
の一つで
allies.
す。
任天堂スイッチ2で
Nintendo Switch 2 has made it possible to
は
include lots of
我々
enemies in
の
our
武装
Warriors
タイプにおい
games.
てはたくさんの敵を出すというところ
So right here, this is it. This clip right here is in 60 frames. So the clips before seemed like they were maybe in a quality mode at a 30, and the trailer before, but obviously they're not done with the game. They're nowhere near done with the game. But this clip in particular runs at 60. So we're gonna play it from right here, okay?
ですね。打者いいってものではないんですが、やはり戦場の臨場感であったりとか迫力といったところに大きく寄与するところなの
So
で。
I'll replay that again. That was the only clip from this whole thing that I can just detect for sure. I mean, there might have been some other stuff, but that right there was at 60 frames per second, which is big because remember, Age of Calamity has no performance mode, has no quality mode. It just has a dookie mode. It's the first game on Switch 2. Well, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it just has dookie mode. Actually, there's actually a number of games, but in terms of stuff that Nintendo published first party wise, just runs dookie mode. So yeah, this is at 60. So I'll just replay it so you guys can maybe see it again. Nintendo Switch 2 has made it possible to include lots of enemies in our Warriors games. Not just adding more enemies is a good thing, but it heavily contributes to the realism and excitement of the battlefield, which helps a ton. That clip right there.
やっぱそれと同時に
At the same
やはり
time,
任天堂スイッチよりも
It's
高い
also
フレームレー
important
ト
that you
遊んで
can
いただく
play
って
with
ことも
higher
大事
frame rates than the Nintendo Switch system at the same time. So this sounds, the way that they say it, they make it sound like at the same, like there's two, like there's a performance and there's a quality. Hey, we need higher frame rates. We want to make sure that it looks good. But you know, he's directly referencing what happened with Age of Calamity. This part right here, they didn't say it because obviously they don't want to say it. Age of Calamity is the best-selling Warriors game of all time. For those who don't know, it's the best-selling one. There's not a better-selling Warriors game than Age of Calamity. That sold 4 million plus units, I think going towards 5 million at this point. So that's the best-selling one. So obviously they wanted to make another one, and Nintendo was like, okay, that's no problem. But that game runs really bad. So the fact that he actually comes out and says it was also important that you could play with higher frame rates than the Nintendo Switch system. So he doesn't mention Age of Calamity, but he's talking about Age of Calamity because higher frame rates in the Nintendo Switch system, that doesn't even make sense. The Switch runs at, there's 60 frames per second games on Nintendo Switch. Like there's already 60 frames per second games. Just your game isn't at 60. But there's 60 FPS games, so it's not like they can run higher frames that wasn't possible on the Switch 1. It's probably just going to run at 60 frames is possible. Heck, there is even a Warriors game. There is a Warriors game on the Nintendo Switch 1 that runs at 60 frames. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition runs at 60. So this comment is funny because they definitely made sure to not say Age of Calamity runs like trash. We're fixing that, you know? Age of Calamity runs garbage. They didn't want to say that, but literally Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition runs on 60 on the Switch 1. Wait, I'm dropping frames. Why am I dropping frames? Uh-oh. I'm dropping frames like Age of Calamity. Hold up. Am I still dropping frames, or are we back? Are we still dropping frames, or are we back? Hold on, let me just make sure. We good? I'm running like Age of Calamity. I think it might have just been YouTube with the little swing. YouTube has mood swings. YouTube definitely has mood swings because my internet's been good. No, it was definitely, I saw that I did drop frames. I looked at my my little performance calculator thing, and I definitely saw that I dropped frames. It might have been YouTube, it might have been me. Either way. So we're good now? Okay, so let me go back so I can refresh what I was saying. So what I was saying here, let me refresh. So he says at the same time, it was also very important. It was also important that you could play with higher frame rates than on Nintendo Switch systems. So this statement doesn't make any sense. For those who missed what I said, this statement doesn't make any sense because Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition runs at 60 frames per second. So for him to say that, he's referencing Age of Calamity. They didn't want to say it outright because obviously you don't want, oh, your best-selling game, you know, doesn't run good, blah, blah, blah. You're not directly referencing it, but he's talking about Age of Calamity because this makes no sense. Because Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition runs at 60. So it's not like they're going to run at a higher, they're probably not going to have 120 frames per second mode. So yeah, it doesn't run at a high, it's probably not going to run at a higher frame rate than the Nintendo Switch system when Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition ran at 60 frames. They got it. By the way, they also made Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. They're the same developers who made Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition run at 60. So he's referencing Age of Calamity. He's referencing Age of Calamity. Yeah, that's really what it comes down to. So it says it was also important that you could play with higher frame rates than on Nintendo Switch. He's talking about Age of Calamity. And shout outs to Uncario. Thank you for the 47 months. Says, hey, OJ, stream is good now. Thank you for the 47 months, Uncario.
遊んでいただくっていうことも大事にして今回実現している
We
よう
were
です。
able to achieve that with this game. I believe that games can foster connections among people.
やっぱり別々の
Even
場所
if
であったり
players live in different places or come from
フィ
different
ジカル条件
backgrounds,
にあっても
they'll be able to experience the same worlds and take on the same challenges. This is player essence. This is player essence. This is what we do. This is why games are so important, and they're great because yeah, no matter who you are, where you come from, whether you're in Japan like Uncario, or you're in the East Coast, or you're in Australia or wherever, we can all come together and talk about games. Like there's some people that are crazy, and obviously you can be annoying, but at the end of the day, most people that actually want to just have fun and play games, like games are powerful in that sense. So.
同じ挑戦
And
が
sort
で
of
きる
become
っていうことが
champions
それで一緒
embarking
に
on the same trip
旅
together.
行に行っ
Or
た
companions,
仲間
sorry,
のように
companions.
なれるっていうのがゲームが人々のつながりを
That's one of the best things about games.
良さの一つかなと思っています。
ゲームってこう思い出
Games
の
are kind
共
of
有
like
装置
tools
じゃ
for
ないで
sharing
すけど、
memories,
ゼ
and
ルダ
that
の
they
伝説
are
でいうと
common experiences
こ
players
う
have.
ひびが入った壁
For
だったら
example,
何
in
し
the
なきゃい
Legend
け
of
ないと
Zelda
か
games,
カノン
there
ド
are
ルフがなん
mechanics
か
like,
丸い
hey,
玉出して
that
きた
goes
ら
too
こうしな
fast,
きゃい
or
け
like
ない
do
みたい
it
なも
again
の
in some
って
evolved energy.
何かみんなでこう
These
共
experiences
通
are
体
shared by
験として
everyone
残
as
っ
a
てい
common
てそれが
language.
共通のこう言葉としてみんなにこ
And that's what
う
makes them
シェア
so
されるっ
appealing.
ていうことがあってだからこそそれが魅力なんじゃないかなって思います。任天堂のコンソールはこう常にゲーマーっていう定義を広げてくれてるなと思ってて、ゲーム業界にいますけど、最初ゲーマーってとてもこうどちらかというとニッチでコアな方っていうイメージがありましたけど、やっぱり時を経て、ゲーマーって普通になってますし、ゲーム遊ぶことも全然特別なことじゃなくなっていて、むしろ毎日遊んでて当然ですみたいな世界に今。
It looks like the Wheel of Fortune pin right here. That looks like the Wheel of Fortune pin. It looks like the Wheel of Fortune. You guys don't like the Wheel of Fortune, the game show?
なっていて、今回任天堂スイッチ2でそれがもっと
As a
どういう
longtime
ふうに
gamer, I'm
広
excited
が
to
っ
see how this
ていくの
will
かってい
continue
う
to
の
grow
は
with Nintendo
やは
Switch
り
2.
昔からずっとゲーマーとしてとても楽しみな未来だなと思ってます。
There you go. this winter. So winter means it can come out this year or it can come out to early next year. So we'll see when it does come out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think it's going to be a great game. Like I said, I played the dookie frame rate and I thought it was good with Hyrule Warriors, you know, Age of Calamity. So I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think it's going to be good. All right, I'd like to buy Val. D for Duke. Frame rate. Let's see here. This will be the last game in the Zelda series. The last game in the Zelda, you mean in the Breath of the Wild series? Like that one? Yeah, it'll be the last game in that one, but not in the actual Zelda series, which, you know. Let's see, bro, it looked like a Wheel of Fortune. Let's see here. Are we going to get a Super Mario Warriors? I don't think we're going to get a Super Mario Warriors. I don't think Nintendo would ever greenlight a Super Mario Warriors. I mean, I think it's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think so. But once again, we'll see. So, yeah, we will see. Why is my teenager in here throwing shade at me? Your teenager's throwing shade at you? Wait, wait, which one? Oh my gosh. Let's see, if my teenager just came in and said she was playing Mario Kart 8. I asked her if she was excited for Mario Kart World. She said yes, mostly she was practicing to whoop my butt. Yes! Shout outs to Little Cyber Taurus. Ms. Little Cyber Taurus. Whoop dad's butt in the game. Yes. That's what I want to see. Let's go. I'm on Little Cyber Taurus' side. Sorry. I'm on Little Cyber Taurus' side. Let's go. You always want your kids to surpass you. You don't want your kids to be as good as you, or you want your kids to be way better, you know? That's just how it is. So, yeah, if my son isn't botting me by the time that he's your daughter's age, I'm going to be upset. If he's not faster than me, if he's not stronger than me, if he can't lift more than I did at that time, if he can't do all that, I'm going to be very upset with him. Okay, Miss Cyber Taurus, get your practice up. Miss Cyber Taurus. Yeah, Miss Cyber Taurus. Practice up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go even further. Yo, 196. We are out here today, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button. If you've not already hit that like button, hit that like button. Let them know that we are streaming. Let them know that we are streaming out here. We still got a bit more time, so if you have questions, comments, whatever the case is, feel free to tag me at PlayerEssence, hashtag PlayerEssence by itself. More than happy to answer your questions for anything. And hit that, like I said, we're at 159 likes. So if you guys have not, you know, hit the like button, let's see if we can get to 200 likes, man. If we get to 200 likes, that'd be nice. That'd be very nice. Also, if you have any other, like, articles, news articles, or stuff that you want to talk about, feel free to let me know about that, too. And I will give my commentary on that as well. So someone mentioned the Nintendo Switch Online offering icons for classic systems. So, yeah, we have Famicom, N64, Game Boy, GBA, the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, and GameCube coming up. But they're all going to be released in waves. So yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. Here are the waves of the stuff coming. Here are the icons. So I think I need to get these so I can get the classic icons. Wave 1. Yeah. I'm old school. I like the NES. We can skip this. We can skip the N64. No, N64 is instrumental. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be. I gotta get the GameCube. I gotta get the GameCube. And I remember borrowing the mouse for Mario Paint. I don't remember ever having it, like buying it, but I just remember that I remember using it. But I don't know if it was ours. I think we borrowed it. But I remember using this mouse, the Super Nintendo mouse, for Mario Paint. So this is not even the first time Nintendo's had an official mouse. I think people think mouse mode's new. Kinda, yes and no. Yes and no. Now we have wireless mouse mode. Wireless mouse. Wireless mouse. But yeah, I gotta get this GameCube for sure. Gotta get the GameCube. Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color was lit too. I like the Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advance was cool. They're all Game Boy Advance was cool. So there you go. Where's the Panasonic Q? Panasonic Q. Everyone needs a Panasonic Q in their life. If you can afford one. There are some third-party indie games that didn't perform well on Switch 1. I hope Switch 2 versions come out at some point. Doubtful. I mean, it's definitely possible that they do free updates for Switch 2. Absolutely possible. It's we've already seen some stuff. So, for example, Hogwarts Legacy. You know, that's getting that's getting a Switch 2 upgrade. So yeah. Sonic Cross Shadow. It's not getting a free upgrade, but it's a Switch 2 version of the game. So yeah. So yeah. They gotta bring back Mario Paint mouse mode. Yeah. There's haters on here. Gotta shut the F up. Listen, man. I just don't understand why people just acting all out for no reason. My kids never surpassed me in Mario Kart. Yeah, Captain Kings. You gotta hold on to the crown as long as possible. Hold on to the crown. Hold on to the top as long as possible, man. So yeah. Hold on to the top as long as possible. OJ, rank your top 12 Final Fantasy games. I don't know, man. I'd have to think about that, so I can't just do it off the top of my head. Top 12. I don't know how I'm gonna rank my top 12 Final Fantasy games off the top of my head. I have to sit down and think about it. But check out my top 25 best JRPGs of all time, and there's some Final Fantasy games on there, like Final Fantasy 9 and stuff. So yeah, Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 7. Those are all really good. But yeah, I don't know about my top 12. But yeah. Let's see here. Missed the good items Nintendo used to have for the rewards points. Yeah, I remember that. But that era's done. That era's done. I remember getting like a pin set back in the day. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah. Also, guys, real quick, I do want to plug a little bit of content here. I probably should have done this a while ago. But if you haven't checked out my video on Sea of Stars, please check out my video on Sea of Stars. It's really good. And there's free updates and content for Sea of Stars that's out, you know, as of today. Throws of the Watchmaker. So if you guys haven't seen that, shout outs to the Sea of Stars team for sponsoring that content. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. You can get it on Steam and all that. It's on Switch, it's on Steam, it's on everywhere. So yeah, check that out. If you haven't seen it already, put it in your watch later. But shout out to the Sea of Stars team. Like I said, I don't take too many sponsorships on the channel when it comes to like companies like games, just because I don't want to be like, I get offers all the time, but I don't want to be bogged down with like playing mobile games all day and stuff like that. But whenever we get a good RPG, I'll always take a good RPG sponsorship. So check that out. Like Triangle Strategy, right? We did that. We did Sea of Stars. So we'll do the good stuff. So check out Sea of Stars if you haven't already seen it. Shout outs to the team. That game's awesome. I like the game a lot too. So yeah. Need to finish Rebirth so I can so we can rank it. Yeah, I need to finish Rebirth. Maybe I'll finally get Rebirth when it comes to Switch 2. Maybe I'll finally get it when it comes there. Or maybe I'll play it on my PS5 Pro. Maybe now I got PS5 Pro. Maybe I'll play it on there. So we'll see. See, the rush of opening a brand new system is coming soon. Super hype. The rush of a new system is always good. It's always good. If and when MS games get announced for Switch 2, do you think Nintendo Direct for Xbox Showcase? I think they'll probably be announced at a Nintendo Direct because most of Microsoft's games have been announced at a Nintendo Direct. So Pentiment and what was that other game? Grounded. Those both got announced at a Nintendo Direct. So I'm guessing it'll be at a Nintendo Direct. Even like Sony's game, you know, that came over. The Lego Horizon, that was also announced. By the way, man, that game came and went, didn't it? That game, nobody even talks about that. That Lego Horizon appeared, said, now you see me. You know what I'm saying? Now you see me. Now you don't. Like that was that Lego Horizon game was just like, you know what I'm saying? that Lego Horizon game was gone, fam. Where'd it go? Dang. That Lego Horizon game disappeared, man. Completely disappeared. Yeah, I think everybody forgot that it existed. Everybody forgot that it existed, man. So yeah. I think no talks about it because people were ready for Switch 2 and done with Switch 1. But it came out on PlayStation. It's a first-party character. People don't talk about it on PlayStation either, though. It wasn't a Switch exclusive. Let's see. It should take the Raid Shadow Legends. I did take a Raid Shadow Legends back once. they hit me up again, but they were trying to do like way less than what they gave me the first time. So I'm like, nah, like I'm not doing it for like a couple, like you know, just barely anything, you know, like nah, like you guys, they were trying to get me to stream it for like 2-3 hours and barely give me anything for it. So I was like, nah, for Raid Shadow Legends, nah. So they just stopped hitting me up after a while. But I did do it once. I did a stream on it once, which was good. Let's see. Oh, look, Horizon isn't for everyone. I liked it, but I'm not touching that Lego game. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Horizon's good. I still think it's a good franchise. It's a good game. It's just, yeah, it's not for everyone, but no game is for everyone. So no game is actually for everyone. So yeah. Yeeted. Yeah, it definitely got yeeted. Magic the Gathering. Hey, what's up, Unreal Christian? Are we going to have Switch 1 funeral stream? How about June 4th? Well, we might, yeah. I'll be traveling to my brother's house, so I don't know exactly how streams are going to be set up. I got to go buy a laptop too, so I got to go buy that so I can and get like my portable streaming setup. I got to finalize my portable streaming setup. I should probably get a new. Actually, no, I got a mic. I got a Yeti here that I can use, so I'll just use my Yeti. Yeah, I will. I gotta finalize. I gotta get a new laptop, and then I have to. And then I've got to see exactly where I'm gonna be at before. So yeah, maybe we'll hold one before June 4th. Maybe we'll hold one on June 2nd. Maybe that week we'll hold one on June 2nd, like the Switch 1 funeral stream, where we just go through, we just play like a bunch of cool Switch 1 games, or we just talk about our, like maybe we have like an event, like a marathon stream, like where we talk about our favorite Switch 1 games. We go over top lists and stuff like that. Everything to do with Switch 1. So maybe we can do that. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. You should put a trick on the troll. I think the internet is broken. That's how stupid they are. You should pull a trick on the troll. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Super Christian Meanwhile. OJ, I need a new mobile battle station. Yeah, I do. Well, I don't have a laptop. I used my mom's for a while, but I had a laptop in 2021. I had a laptop that I bought, I think in 2019, and I thought it was a good it was an Asus, and then it just turned into a Lemon. I factory reset it. It just doesn't work. So I was like, okay, this is bad. But literally, it worked the whole time that I traveled to Nigeria. It worked the whole time in 2021 when I traveled to, and I used that laptop in the hotel. I used that laptop when I was in Nigeria. I used it, and then when I came back home, it just stopped working completely. It just completely stopped working. So like it still turned up, but it just would be slow. It would take forever. I went to try to get it. It was a Lemon. It turned into a Lemon. So I needed, and I haven't bought a new laptop since then. My mom bought one, I think, and she never uses it, so I was using hers. But I need to go buy my own. Like it's not that great of a laptop, so I need to go get like a new laptop. So yeah, TSA broke the laptop. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure what happened, but it would turn on, but it wouldn't really boot. Like I factory reset it and everything, and it just wouldn't really boot. But it worked fine when I was in Nigeria in 2021, like around the time that Metroid Dread came out. Does it have to be a Windows device? I'm considering all things, but I'm not really looking for suggestions though. I'll pick up something, but I'm not really looking for suggestions or or anything like that. I'll find something myself. Players, do you think Splatoon will greatly benefit from transitioning to free to play? No, that wouldn't be a greatly benefit. No. We'd probably get less content and it'd be microtransactions. So no. Let's see here. RTU can donate a laptop to you for free keyloggers. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that one. Yo, shout outs. Thank you so much, Mr. Deported. Thank you for the $2 dono. Appreciate that. Talk about the disappearing trick. Oh, okay. Yeah. Got you. Switch 2 fails. Just become a Raid Shadow Legends streamer. There you go. Raid Shadow Legends. My laptop was rotten potato because it uses HDD. Opening would take a millennium, but after I swapped the SSD upgrade, 4 GB around 8 GB. Wow, night and day difference. Yeah, that might have been it too. It might have been because it uses HDD instead of a SSD.
Laptop, just get a Lenovo Legion Go or ROG Ally. Lol JK.
Yeah, just run that in laptop mode. There you go. That's all I gotta do. Yeah, that's not happening. Shout out to Justin. Thank you for that. 201, we out here. Thank you guys so much. We're going even further than beyond. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, guys. Just picked up Sea of Stars. What difficulty should I play at? It's my first time. Just play on normal. Local, man. Just play on normal. Yeah, I'm definitely SSD, more RAM. SSD and more RAM is always good. SSD, more RAM. So yeah, the laptop that I get is definitely gonna have a lot of gonna have a lot of RAM. Minimum, 16, probably 32. So yeah. Just please release Kingdom Hearts 4 on Switch 2. I'm pretty sure Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be on Switch 2, considering what Square Enix has said about multi-platform development. And they're putting over Final Fantasy 7. They're going to put Rebirth on Switch 2. So if Rebirth is on Switch 2, then obviously Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to have to be on Switch 2. Cybertorch with the $5 says, you know what I suggest? You all like the stream and hit that subscribe button. Actually, Cybertorch, I might actually hit you up DMs for a computer because I know you know what you're talking about. I actually might hit you up about that, so I might DM you on Twitter. So I actually might DM you just to get your opinion. Yeah. The reason why I say that here, because I'll just start having everyone recommend everything. So then it's like, okay, it just becomes like everyone's just gonna recommend everything different. So that's the reason why I say I'm not looking for recommendations like on stream. But and I'll find out myself. But I actually might actually hit you up for that. Or if you have a few that you want to send my way, that'd be good. As in like a few suggestions that you want to send my way. Like that SATA SSD is not as fast as NVMe SSD. It's still fast for daily tasks. Yeah. I need one that's going to be obviously good for like streaming and all that. Streaming takes a lot of resources. Video editing video editing takes a ton of resources. Streaming does, but like you can manipulate things while you stream to, even if your computer isn't as good, because that laptop that I had was not good. But editing takes a lot of power to edit. Like it takes a lot. I mean, yeah, you can make things not, but like editing software, man, like you will have issues if you don't have a good enough RAM, graphics card, and all that. You will have issues trying to edit. Shout outs though to Cyber Taurus once again. Thank you for the $5 dono. We are out here tonight, man. We are out here. Let's go. If you guys have more questions, comments, concerns, whatever the case is, feel free to let me know. More than happy to answer all your questions. Let's go. I got 2 Switch 2s from Walmart for my wife and I. Landed a third from my Nintendo that I'll be holding on to Mario Kart World for a Mario Kart World tournament for. Nice. Let's go, Kraken Jacks. Yeah, I got 2. My brother got me one, then I got one coming in. So I'll probably let my wife play, or my son when he gets older. So my son, he's going to be 2 this year. So he's, I think probably by next year or so, he might start playing games a little bit. So I'll probably save one for him so he can have a Switch 2 as well when he gets older. So I have a Pentium 3 processor here for you. A Pentium 3 processor. A Pentium 3. That's kind of trash though, isn't it? Streaming is easier for me. I just hit record, do my thing, then post as long as frames don't drop. Yeah. You just got to make sure that you have the right like bit rate and settings and all that. Like it can be less intensive on your computer. So yeah. Let's see here, but it's all good. If you guys have more questions, like I said, feel free to, if you guys have any other comments on other games that you want to talk about, that's good too. But yeah, check out my Sea of Stars video, guys, if you haven't seen it. And I have a big video for tomorrow talking about Metroid and talking about Hyrule Warriors and other stuff and Rideout and other games. So it's going to be good. So make sure you guys watch tomorrow's video as well, because it probably surprise you what we've got cooking, or what Nintendo potentially has cooking for 2025. With some classic games and more. So let me see here. Let me put Sea of Stars the video. So yeah. Let's see here. Trust from the 90s, 2000s. Nice. That's from, yeah, exactly. Pentium 3. That's old school, man. Super old school. Trying to play like Carmen Sandiego or something like that, or trying to play the Oregon Trail on DOS. It can run Windows 98 max settings, bro. I don't miss those days, man. I don't miss those. I miss those days, but then I don't miss those days. So yeah. Miss those days, then don't miss those days. My PC CPU is i7 X 1990 3.4 gigahertz. All right, there you go. Told myself I would unbox the Switch at midnight, but honestly, I'm getting some sleep. But let me ask you a question though, hyped monkey. What if Donkey Kong Bonanza came out at launch game? I don't think you'd be getting some sleep then. You'd be punching people like Donkey Kong. You'd be punching people like in Bonanza to get to it. Windows 98 had a game called Ski Free. It took way too many hours of my life. Ski Free. You know what game I played a lot on Windows 98? It was Space Cadet Pinball. Space Cadet Pinball back in the day, man. That was the game that took a lot of my time and hours. Space Cadet Pinball. Let's see here. Man, I'm hyped for DK. Yes. Oh man, that pinball. Yeah, that pinball game was fire. Yeah, it was fire. Space Cadet Pinball. Okay, what do you think the next system added to NSO, Wii or DS? It'll probably be DS, right? It'll probably be DS. My PC is from Alienware before Dell. There you go. Space Cadet was so much fun back then. Yeah, it really was. It really was. The fact that Party Man, you still played Space Cadet Pinball too, that's interesting. You must have played it when you were really little, right? Because I played that, but I played that like in the mid 90s. So early mid 90s. When did Space Cadet Pinball come out? Space Cadet Pinball. We need a 1995. Released as part of 1995 Microsoft Plus upgrade from 95. The bundled with later versions of Windows. Space Cadet is a digital pinball game from Maxis. Yeah, man. Space Cadet Pinball, baby. Space Cadet Pinball. It's great. Wait a minute. 3D pinball for Windows? The Space Cadet mission continues? What's this about? Oh, okay. I thought they made a new one. I didn't know if they made a new one or not. Shout out to Space Cadet Pinball, man. Great game. Alright, just gotta get through all this stuff here. Alright, there we go. Also played Space Cadet Pinball in the early 2000s with my old home computer. Yeah. Oh no, I don't need to be sucked into a new one. Yeah, I know, seriously. I played Space Cadet at a very young age. I was old enough to remember. Nice. Still remember the sound effects? Yeah. Actually, I think you can play Space Cadet Pinball. Pinball. I think you can play it like from the web browser. I think I played it one time on stream. Yeah, I think I played it on stream. But I don't know how. But yeah. Yeah, here we go. Shout out to Creosa Bomb with the $10 dono. Shout out to Space Cadet. It's goated. Just Google it and it comes up. Yeah. You can just play it. Creosa Bomb with the $10 dono. We out here tonight. Yo, yes, let's go. Keep those questions coming though, guys, if you have them. Shout out to Space Cadet. He's the homie. We got to give him much love tonight. Hit that like button though, guys. I appreciate it if you guys hit that like button. What games are you playing with the Switch 2 launch? Mario Kart World for sure. Mario Kart World is definitely going to be copped and played like crazy. What are you guys looking forward to most on Switch 2? 20 more likes though, guys. We do need 20 more likes to get to 200 likes. But yes, I'm definitely playing Mario Kart World. I'm playing maybe Cyberpunk. We'll see. I'm going to be playing probably Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Going to be playing those. Definitely want to play those as well. So yeah. I want to see Dreamcast guys' brutally honest review of Space Cadet Pinball. It'll probably be a pretty good review. Let's go. Rune Factory and Bravely Default. Yeah, Rune Factory. I thought about that game because it's on a physical on a cartridge. 70 for it though, but yeah, we'll see. Mario Kart 1, I want to explore the world and all the secrets. Zelda and Xenoblade games, and of course, beat Party Man and Mario Kart. Xenoblade? I don't think that there's any patches for Xenoblade, so you might want to wait on those with Unreal Christian because I don't think they actually add anything yet, but we'll see. Right, they might stabilize the frame rate, but I don't think there's not going to be any patches to make them like 60 or something. Looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom. Yes, it's really far now. The Switch 2 has come really close. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Yeah, I mean, I knew the time was going to fly by. What did I tell you guys? I was like, guys, the time for the Switch 2 is going to fly right by. Like, it's going to go by quick. So yeah, my PS5 is about to be neglected in about 2 weeks. Listen, I'm playing a lot of Clair Obscur leading up to it, so I'll be playing as Clair Obscur all the way to the launch of the Switch 2. So yeah, Street Fighter 6. Listen, once Switch 2 comes out, I'm definitely gonna be neglecting my PS5 for sure. But it goes through waves. There's times where I neglect my Switch. There's times where I've been neglecting my Xbox. There's times where you neglect whenever a game comes out on another system. Obviously, you put time into something else. But yeah, when Switch 2 comes out, I'm definitely gonna be playing Switch. Like, there's not anything that's on PS5 that I'm like super excited to play. Probably till I don't know when the next game is gonna be on PS5. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. But there's plenty of stuff that I want to play on Switch 2, like a lot of stuff. But I'm not sure about the next game for PS5 for me. But there'll be something that will come up at some point that I'll be excited to play, and I'll probably play it on PS5. But yeah, we'll see. I'm getting no sleep. Yeah, you gotta hibernate beforehand, party man. You got work off too, right? Who actually has work off? Who has work off to play the games? If you have no work and no kids, that's like it's gonna be like the greatest thing ever. You know, because you're gonna have all the time. No work, no girlfriend or boyfriend, no kids, and you live by yourself. If you're that, usually that's not necessarily a great thing. Like with all those combinations, usually you might be longing for something else, but that will be the time when you'll be able to just get maximum, just get like blown away by the awesomeness. Dan, you're taking. Justin said, "I quit." Justin said, "I quit and I'm not coming back." No, I'm joking. Yeah, shout out to Jamar. I think that was Cyber Taurus. He gifted you one. I'm taking half a week. I'm taking half the week off. My kid will be at school. Nice. She's talking trash to you. Like, yeah, well, I'm at home playing. I'm at home playing while you're at school. Learn now. Oh man, let's go. Shout out Cyber Taurus. Thank you for the multiple donos, man. Going further beyond tonight. Let's go. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. It really helps out. 100%. Let's go.
Even further beyond.
Yep. My say bye to the family. DoorDash all week. Yeah. I booked June 4th and 5th off as soon as they revealed the release date. Nice, Psycho Pie. Let's go. Psycho Pie, are you still in school, Psycho Pie, or are you done with school? You just described Chris Chan as Cyrax. I'm saying bye to my family and DoorDashing all week, says Projo. I put in my PTO for the 5th, 6th, no kids, no girlfriend, live alone, should be fun week. No kids, no girlfriend, live alone. You're just gonna come walk in like Batman, like when Batman goes to his Batcave. Like, walk in, press a button. My wife knows, like, I'm gonna be playing games and stuff, but I mean, look, I was like, look, I'm gonna even be in a different city, so I'm gonna be in my. I wanted to hang out with my brother because we find this to be. My brother, we wanted to celebrate us like having a game system together. We're both getting older, you know. We don't know how many game launches we're gonna have together. How many more game launches, like game system launches. I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot together still, but this one might be special. So I wanted to go spend some time up there with him. I'm in San Fran, so I'm looking forward to spending some time there, and of course streaming from there, hanging out, streaming from there. The launch is gonna be good, so yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a good launch. I work weekends at night shift, so I'll have to wait until Tuesday to fully enjoy it. Okay. Oh, you didn't get work off. That sucks. I'm on summer break from college, so I'm gonna have lots of time. Epic Glosser, how long you been in college, fam? Damn, it seems like you've been in college for forever. No, I'm just messing with you. It's all good. What's up, Rajiv? Welcome. I've maxed out my PTO, so I took Friday, June 6th off just to enjoy the chaos online. My boss actually forcing me to take days off so I don't lose my PTO. Perfect timing. Yeah, you got to be careful. If you don't use it, you lose it. So I made sure to use PTO all the time. I always use my PTO when I was working. When I was working at the job that I am. Bro, I had to lie to my supervisor saying that I'm getting my wisdom teeth taken out. Hey, look, you know, I'm just, it's gonna be hurt my teeth, dude. He's gonna ask you to show you, like, he's gonna ask you to go and to see if your wisdom teeth are out. For some weird reasons, I didn't ask for. I got a week off. The workaholic in me ain't happy. Okay, yeah. That's dope. OJ, my nephew's looking forward to Switch 2. Yeah. Took off for the 5th and 6th, 2 days after my days off, so basically 4 days of Switch 2 goodness. Shout out to J2 Kart World. Let's go. Yep, I'm still in college. I'm in my last year. Thank God. I know. Psychopie, you've been in college for 7 years, bro. This man has been in college for since I met you. You were in college. No, I was in college for 5 years, so I know what it's like to be a super senior. You know. Yeah, and yeah, seriously, thank God, bro. My last year of college, I was just like. I was like foaming at the mouth. I'm like, get me out of here. Like that meme, get me out of here. I was like, get me out of here. Bro, I graduated. You know what I did when I graduated? Well, there was this girl that was next door. She cooked me some food. But after that, I went back home. She cooked me some food, like graduation meal, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. I stayed for a little bit, and then I was out. I packed all my stuff, and I left that day. Bro, that day, I was gone. I was gone. That night, like I said, that night, I left. I was like, I'm out of here. I didn't want to spend another day there. Like, I packed up all my stuff, and I went home, and I just lied down on my bed at my mom's house, and I was just like, oh my goodness, it's over. I felt like the world was just great, but it kicked off the worst arc of my life. I thought it was gonna be a good thing, but bro, it kicked off the worst arc of my life, to be honest. That right there kicked off the worst arc. But don't get me wrong, like, we got through it. We here now. We good. We good. Beautiful wife, beautiful kid. We good. But man, oh, that was terrible. Let's see. It had to go longer for my normal stream because I may or may not have failed a few classes. May or may not have failed a few classes. That's not good, Psychopie. I'm strongly considering taking 6/6 off. Kid will be in school. Wife has a day off. Hoping to play some Mario Kart World together. Nice, let's go. My last year of college as well. Lucky my summer class is in July instead of the entire summer, so I have all of June off. So it's gonna be Switch time for you. Yo, let's go, Clabby. So I'll just be happy to have the 5th launch day and play all weekend. Yep. Let's go. I told him I have a doctor's appointment. Says I have a doctor's appointment. I can't go. Says it's just gonna be at home playing video games all day. You sneaky you. Let's go. Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see here. Gone like old Donkey Kong, bro. I'm telling you, we out. The classic excuse of I got a doctor's appointment. That one never fails. Like, what are you going there for? Dave, you're talking like you're 60 plus, just got a few console launches left. I mean, these things come out every 10 years. So, like, if these systems, like, for, let's just say Nintendo, every 10 years almost, like, how many more do I have? Like, I have a few left. I have a few. So, yeah. So let's just say, you know, this one, and then the next 10 years, 20, 30, so 30, yeah. I got a few left. So, if they come out every 10 years, obviously it's not quite every 10 years. I mean, it can be 6 years, it can be 7 years. I was just kind of joking. I was exaggerating a little bit, like with the 10 years. It's probably not gonna be every 10 years. Probably like every 6 to 8 years, right? Somewhere between that time frame. So maybe I got more than a few left. Never know. Let's see here. Me on release day gonna have to call out. Not feeling so, exactly, dude. You know, the last time I remember calling out for a video game was back when Pokemon Diamond came out. My friend A-Train and me, we went to go pick up the games, and like I was supposed to go to work by like 2 o'clock, and like we picked up the games early, like at 9. So we were playing freaking all day. We were playing all day. Just me and him were playing at my mom's house. We were just playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and I remember. Dude, it was like 1:30. I'm like, dude, I gotta get ready for work. He's like, oh man. He's like, okay. He's like, okay, I'll bounce. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me just call in. And I call in. And I'm like, oh yeah, my tires. I blew my tires out. I can't make it to work. I got a flat tire. I can't make it. I can't make it to work. I got a flat tire. That's what I call, bro. So I can just sit back and play Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, dude. So we played all the way through to the night, man. We played till he left. It was great. So, because I had to play Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I could have easily just taken it. It was on the DS. I could have just taken it and played it when I was like, you know, on lunch break, or, you know, it wasn't worth missing work for. But when you make $3 an hour, not like it mattered anyway. I used to get my checks just like, well, it is what it is. Oh man. Says, bro, I'm turning 41 this year. I don't have many Nintendo consoles left in me. I don't want to go, Mr. I don't want to go, Mr. PlayerEssence. Oh man. Yep. Let's see here. You actually saved money by not going. I know, save the gas money by not going there. Back then, gas was cheap though. Back then, gas was like $1 something. It was like $1 something, or like $2 for like per gallon. So back then, gas was actually somewhat affordable. I need to plan my healthy snacks and supply of drinks on launch day. Yep, I've got my good old Adidas canister. I'm gonna have my my healthy snacks, my you know, men's the healthy mix, peanuts and all that type of stuff, and little cranberry thingies and all that, walnuts. Definitely gotta plan it out, you know. So yeah. Facts, gas is expensive. Yeah, man, it's pricey, bro. It's pricey, much higher than what it was. But you know, it is what it is. You know, what can you do? But it's good. It's good to actually have like this console launch, man. Like it's good to actually have a console launch, and like I said, people be excited about that console launch and like what's happening in gaming. You know, it's just fun. Again, there's been a little bit of a lull, right? Since we've known that the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming, there's been a little bit of the lull in terms of how things work and how it plays out. But the fact that like we're finally having something new come out with new games and improvements, and Nintendo's finally kind of upgrading, it's definitely, like I said, a good thing, man. It's a super good thing. So I'm excited for that once again, you know. So yeah. So yeah, have you got the essential accessories, screen protector? I haven't yet. I need to get that stuff. I need to get, not a screen protector because I never use screen protectors, but I need to get a case. I need to get the case. Satisfied. So yeah. It says no healthy snacks. You need real snacks. Yeah, we need the unhealthy stuff. Hero of Anime. People used to take days off for Madden every year. I used to take the thing about Madden is that the whole time that when Madden was coming out, like a lot of times when Madden was out, I think I was like not working, or when I bought Madden games, I was going to school, or I was like not working. So I mean, I would just naturally have the day off because I'm not working. But yeah, a lot of Madden games that came out back in the day, like I was either going to school, so I didn't have a job, so I would just play it all day, or it was like a summer release or something like that. So I remember like going to football practice and like, you know, coming back and playing Madden, you know. But I used to play Madden religious, dude. I was a Madden fiend. My favorite Madden games to play were Madden that I played online, that I played so much and like was like ranked in the. I was ranked in the top 1,000 in Madden 05 at one point. But Madden 05 is the game that I played like, oh my gosh, I played that game so much. Madden 05 was so good. Madden 05 and Madden 06. Madden 04, 5, and 6. Those were the games, but Madden 05 in particular, that game, oh man, that was so good. Because Madden 04, playmaker, offensive playmaker. Madden 05, defensive playmaker. So you had a balance between offensive and defensive playmaker. Loved it. Ray Lewis on the cover. Great. Go-to game. My case is out for delivery. Got the screen protector ready. Yeah, I gotta order that case right now. I gotta order it. Or I gotta order the Satisfied grip. That's what I gotta order. I gotta order the Satisfied grip. So yeah. I might have to invest in an EV one day. Oh yeah. EV, like for better, you know, electric. So yeah, I might want to invest in that. My friend A-Train, he's got one, man. He likes it. So yeah. We finally have a new Mario Kart, a new console for Mario Kart release after 11 years. Yes, finally. So yeah, don't have all the essentials yet, but I'm gonna be getting them though. I've been working my butt off so I can have the week off uninterrupted. Can't wait. Justin? What's the wife saying when it comes to that? What's she up to? Is she like does she play games at all, or is she not too much? Man, it's crazy that we have to come up with a crazy excuse to take time off. As long as I have time I put in, they can't do anything about it. Yeah, that's true. PTO, but some people don't have that PTO. Some people don't get it or just can't, you know. How's your hunt for OLED 4K monitor? I found an Alienware one that fits everything that I want. It's kind of pricey though, but I did find one that works. That work well enough. But I haven't bought it yet. But I'll pick it up soon. I need to pick it up though because the Switch 2 is gonna be here soon. So I need to buy that OLED soon. Oh, thank God, my wife took my daughter to the store. It's quiet again. Nice. Let's go. Let's go. Scott the Waz begs to differ. Yo, let's go. On Madden. It's funny. Oh, man. My memories of arcades is still fresh. I remember my parents taking us to a hotel where the basement was literally an arcade room. DK, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, such a magical time. Yeah, that's good times. I remember going to the Nickel arcade back in the day with my friend Turtle. It's a lot of fun. And I remember just going like to the old school. It was like an arcade and like pizza parlor, a parlor or whatever. Like where you can go there, like you can eat pizza and you can play arcade games. It was like a hybrid. So I remember those too. Those were great. Those were really good. Yeah, old school arcades, man. Yeah, used to be an arcade in the mall too, but they shut that one down. They shut that arcade down. So I don't even know. I don't even have an arcade in my area. I think there might be an arcade like on the far like east side of town. I'm not even sure. But I don't know if there is even any more arcades where I'm at. So that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, we do got a Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, that's still kind of an arcade. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, there's still one. There's still, so I mean, you can go to Chuck E. Cheese and play like arcade games. Yeah. The fact that we're getting a new DK following month is incredible. Yes. Just happy because I keep the house clean and have dinner ready. Plus, she loves Mario Kart and party. Nice, nice. Hey, there you go. You're a good husband, man. You keep the house clean. I got to do a better job of that, man. I gotta be a better husband when doing stuff like that. I got to keep the house clean more often. Yeah. Yeah, I got to do that more often. Keep the house clean and cook. My wife, I can cook, but my wife, she cooks so much better than me. There's no point in me cooking, you know? Let's see here. I didn't even have to make an excuse. My boss just gave me time off. Nice. Let's go, J2. Shoutouts, man. A lot of you guys working hard, man. Shoutouts to you guys out there working hard, dude. Let's go. Shoutouts to you guys working hard. Let's go. Video game bars are where it's at. Yeah, okay, there is an arcade that I went to, sorry. What's it called? There's the Dave and Buster's. There you go. My daughter and I, we go to, never mind, I said we haven't been. I go to Dave and Buster's, but that's like also like a hybrid bar, food place, and arcade. So yeah, I go to Dave and Buster's, which I've been to there multiple times with my daughter. My wife and I got a rhythm down. I make the main dish. She makes the side dishes and desserts. Oh, okay. Maybe I can make the side dishes and desserts. I think that maybe that's something that I can do, because I cannot make the main dish. My wife, she's such a good cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's such a good cook. So it makes no sense for me to cook the main dishes, you know? Waiting for my boy to get older, though. He, you know, he's still kind of young, so he's still drinking milk at times and just, like, eating, like, the oatmeal and sometimes just, you know, stuff that a baby would eat. Let's see here. We have those Cineplex arcades, the Rec Room, they're called, but my arcades died in the city a long time ago. Yeah, like, straight up dedicated arcades died a while ago for me, too. Back in, like, the late or early 2000s, there still were some arcades. And, like, even I would say, like, 2000s, there were some, like, dedicated arcades. But those all went away once people got video games. Like, it took a while, though. It was, like, a slow death over the course of, like, decades for arcades, you know? See, I'm literally working a night shift right now listening to stream. Hey, shout out to Drew Arco. Appreciate that, man. My girlfriend doesn't even game. Her entertainment is murder mysteries. I do like murder mysteries. I do like, is like Forensic Files, or is like the fake, like, or like the fake ones, like the TV show ones. But like, I'm a huge fan of Forensic Files, Unsolved Mysteries, all that stuff, like FBI Files, things like that. I'm a huge fan of that, so I do like that a lot. It's just that I've watched every single episode of Forensic Files, so yeah, multiple times. So I don't really have any more to watch, but yeah, they're good. I like Forensic Files. And I like the new Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix, too. That's good, too. I like that one. Yeah, Dateline just takes too damn long per each episode. With the old white guy with the hair. That's been, like, he looked the same for, like, 20 years now. Like, and he was like, oh, my God, what's happening here? Oh, man, she didn't even know that person was out to kill her. You know, like, that guy? You're talking about that guy? Yeah. I do like Dateline, though. It just takes a long time to kind of get into the thick of it. But it's a really well-structured show, though. I was actually watching it on my LG TV. They have like free TV shows, and I saw some like murder mystery of somebody, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And I flipped onto it, and like my TV just gives me free channels, and I was watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, Dateline's good. But I used to watch Dateline back in the day, like actually like on like cable TV or whatever, and it was always good. It was always pretty good. Yeah, it's a build-up. It takes a while, because, like, Forensic Files is, like, quick. It's, like, 30-minute show, right? So it's, like, they get right into it. But, like, Dateline takes a while, which is okay. They do interviews. They do all that, which is fine. You know, it's okay. It's good. Sometimes you need a change of pace, right? Because Forensic Files is so fast, you know? So, yeah. Let's see here. I got the Tom Talk case. I wanted the power... I wanted to power a case, but not out of our little while for the reason. Okay, got you. Yes, Lester Holt. Is that his name? The host of Unsolved Mysteries was the voice of Ultra Magnus in the '80s Transformers cartoon. What? Robert Stack? That guy? The old school? The guy that? Yeah, Robert Stack. He was a G. He's old school, man. Lived a good long life. Yeah, shout out to Robert Stack, man. Rest in peace. But he lived a good, long life, man. I like Robert Stack. He's cool. I got a pocket full of quarters and headed to the arcade. Got a Pac-Man fever. Driving me crazy. Yeah, that's the song. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Satisfied case and all that. Like, if you buy like the Satisfied grip, it comes like with the case as well. So I'll probably just go like with the Satisfied stuff. So yeah. So yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Like I said, if you haven't hit that like button. Shout outs, let's go. Keith Morrison is the old white man on Dateline. Oh, Keith Morrison. Okay. Lester Holt, that's the black guy with the super receding hairline, right? Like, let me look up Lester Holt. My bad. Lester Holt. Yeah, that's the black guy with the super receding hairline. Yeah. That's him. Almost already got my case and screen protector, just waiting for that 1 terabyte micro SD Express. Amazon says mine is coming June 5th. Here's hoping. Yeah, at least you got enough space, at least at the beginning. So just stop for taking this video about Cyberpunk 2077. He said it's trash. LMAO. Okay, that's fine. I think maybe he's comparing it to PC, right? He's comparing it to PC. So I mean, yeah, if you compare it to PC, it's nowhere near as good. But for it being on a hybrid system, it's fine. We all know that it's fine compared to like Steam Deck and compared to other stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if did he ever say it was trash when it was running on Steam Deck or when it was running on any other portable handheld PC? Yeah, it's okay, man. It's no big deal. Actually, it looks pretty good for like what the Switch is. It looks pretty good. Which I think we all can see that, right? We all got eyes. We don't need other people to tell us what looks good or not. But once again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion though. If he thinks that it doesn't look good, that's fine. But I looked at the game, we all think that it looks okay for the most part. It doesn't look bad. Obviously the frame rate isn't at 60 frames, but from a visual standpoint, it looks fine. It does not look bad. It looks good. If it looked bad, then we can just say, yo, it doesn't look so good. You know what I'm saying? Like we did that all the time with Switch 1, right? We said, look at Hogwarts Legacy. Doesn't look so good. Look at Doom Eternal compared to Doom on PlayStation. Doesn't look so good. It's good for the Switch 1, but it doesn't look so good in comparison to the other platforms. So we've done this before, right? We've said this before with games. If it looks good in comparison, we say that it looks good. If it doesn't look good, then it doesn't look good. But from what they've shown from Cyberpunk, it looks pretty good in comparison. Once again, doesn't have the frame rate though. But if you're comparing it to like a high-end PC, like what your PC can do, then obviously no, it doesn't look as good. But if you're comparing it to like, if you're comparing it to obviously better than the PS4, Xbox One versions of the game, and if you're comparing it to somewhere in between like Xbox Series S, or if you're comparing it to obviously Steam Deck, if you're comparing it like that way, then it actually looks pretty good, objectively speaking. Talks about NDS in the video. He just said, so not kiss Nintendo's asses and having NDS. Oh my gosh, ad hominem is off the chart. The fact that he's even talking about it in the video is hilarious, because the only reason why somebody, if anybody, took offense to that is and it says at the very bottom of NDS, right? It's not about kissing ass, NDS. It's really not. It's about people that are deranged when it comes to misinformation and all that with NDS, right? So I guess maybe he feels a little. People thought maybe they were going after him about it because he's always negative or upset about Nintendo or whatever, but that's not it. Legitimate or fair criticism is fair, and that's fine. Once again, we've had that here. Somebody said, oh, they wish Mario Kart World looked better. I said, I can understand that 100%. That's fair, but it's the stupid stuff. That's what NDS is. So if you're not doing NDS, then it doesn't matter. Just like when people say, oh, you're just a Xbox, like if people say like, make up names for like, crazy Xbox fans or crazy whatever haters on Xbox or PlayStation. I don't get upset with that because I'm not crazy hating on anything. I don't get upset with any of that type of stuff because I don't feel that I am. So, but Nintendo derangement syndrome, Nintendo, let's see here. We got, I think Prime talked about it, Nintendo Prime. So if you bring it up, right, it's like very clear and cut what it is, it's not people that are actual legitimate. So if you look at it, it's not people that if you kiss ass, that's not it. What it is, it's a very clear, it's very clear what it says. Where individuals lose all sense of objectivity and rationality when discussing Nintendo, specifically those who obsessively hate. You don't have to like something, that's fine, but obsessively hate. Obsessively, where you're obsessed. If you're not obsessed or you don't think that you're obsessed, then this doesn't apply to you. If you're not obsessive or if you're not, it doesn't apply. So there's nothing to be upset about. There's nothing to even be upset. If you're not obsessively hating on them, if you feel that you're rational and you're not obsessive, then this does not apply to you. There's no reason to even bring it up. This often leads to exaggeration, misinformation, double standards, bizarre emotional reactions to whenever Nintendo is even mentioned. If this doesn't apply to you, then there's no point in getting upset about it. This is very clear. This is not like somebody like the difference between like, let's say, depression and being upset. Everybody that's upset doesn't have depression. Okay? Depression can be defined in certain types of ways with symptoms. There are times that there's symptoms of when you're upset that you could have depression, but that doesn't mean that if you're upset about something that means you have depression, right? Because that's clinical. So this is a joking clinical thing. If this isn't you, then there's no problem. You know? Some of these people have major inferiority complex, angry to see success elsewhere outside of what they chose to rally behind. Yep. How about some Balrog music for Street Fighter 2 any version? Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Like, I think that's part it, you know? That's part it for sure. So, oh, wait, hold up. Let me just do this. So we'll play the Balrog theme. Where's Street Fighter 2 Balrog theme? Where's Street Fighter 2? So it's a straight up Street Fighter 2 theme. I think I spelled Balrog wrong too, though. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. So going back to it, this is not a real disorder. I'm just saying we're in comparison, right? So what I'm saying is that, like, if you're not obsessively hating on something, and if it doesn't lead to exaggeration, misinformation, double standards, bizarre, like, if that's not you, if you're logical, then there's nothing to be upset about. It's not about kissing ass. Like, this clearly defines it right here. You know what I'm saying? Symptoms of Nintendo, symptoms, compulsive lying about Nintendo sales, hardware specs, or game quality, compulsive lying. Not giving your opinion, but just simply compulsive lying. Goalpost shifting when proven wrong. You know, downplaying critical or commercial success. Calling fans cultists while foaming at the mouth about a 40-second Nintendo Direct trailer. Using piracy or emulation as a moral crusade. So remember, symptoms doesn't mean that it's everything, okay? It's just some things. And then remember, there's the important note here. Criticism doesn't equal NDS. You're allowed to dislike or criticize Nintendo. It clearly says that. NDS kicks in when that dislike turns into obsession, misinformation, or irrational rage, especially when you start acting like people enjoying a game is a personal attack on you. It's pretty clearly defined on here. So nobody should get upset with this. If you're logical and rational in what you're saying here, then there's no point. Yes, Metaphor ReFantazio 2 and SMT5 Vengeance are coming to Switch 2. I don't know when they're coming, but yes, they're coming. So yeah. But it's all good. It's all good. It's not even just talking about Frid or I'm just talking about in general. We're not even just singling out one person, because I did see that other people were, you know, talking about this, you know, overall. So yeah. And people were talking about, it's so funny. They try to do a gotcha on Prime in the thing. They say, how do you feel about Nintendo's new TOS? And he's like, it's not new. So yeah, and then people just keep on pouring on other things. So yeah. But actually, no, he was just misinformed on a lot of stuff. Never mind. So yeah. Yeah, this person doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. This is literally 12 hours ago. It says, how do you feel about the new TOS? Prime says, it's not new, so set aside what actually is new. So yeah, it's not new. Nintendo's had that since 2005, 2006. But then he also says, from what I gather, physical games no longer contain a copy of the game. Yeah, this person literally getting misinformed. Just a download key, essentially. That's not every single game. If you do buy a game, you're essentially renting it from them. No, that's not true. And the ability to can be revoked. No, it's the download is tied to the key card itself. It's not tied to your account. Same as consoles, any mods or alterations can result in remote deactivation. In terms of it. So yeah, so Prime says a few things that you're referencing game key cards. Not every game is a game key card. All Nintendo games are on full cards. So some third-party games like Cyberpunk is entirely up to the third-party publisher. All companies reserve the right to revoke your game license. This isn't new language and has been in every single EU LA for video games going back to the 80s. It's also been held up in court. However, they have no real way of deactivating a physical copy because the cards can't be written to. That is also true as well. And in actuality, no, they are not saying that you can't modify your system. They're saying you can't do so, then connect to their services. If you do that, then they can brick it. Sony and Xbox have the same policy, so does iPhone. That is true. These are all security protections that prevent servers from getting hacked and cheaters from playing online online on their servers. Reality is this isn't a new policy and has been around since the Wii. They can't brick your system for just modding it. That is actually against the law. They can only legally do so when you take that system and then connect it to their servers. That is held up in court because you are breaching security risks. The entire modding scene has known this for decades, and it's a non-issue. Nobody from that scene has been complaining about this because it's not new. It's for people who don't mod. Now I'm bitching because they didn't realize this was always a thing. The homebrew scene literally exists on private servers for that reason. Yeah. And then he responded by, I actually really appreciate the full breakdown here, man. Thank you. A lot of misinformation getting spread around, so that I was looking for someone to give zone honest feedback, and you're definitely nailed it. That's what I'm saying. Most of the stuff that people are talking about, it's misinformation and YouTubers lying about stuff, lying and then not correcting themselves, right? So it's people just making up stuff and making up lies. The EULA has been around for a long time. Why the hell is Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony going to allow you to mod and potentially hack their servers by modding and cheating online? Like, why are they going to allow you to do that? It's been like that for forever. So that's why I said it's a nothing burger. It's a non-issue. When people are trying to come here and try to make it seem like it was some type of thing, it's a non-issue. And then people dug up Sony's, and Sony said the same thing. Then all of a sudden, it's no longer an issue, right? Unless there's some people that don't know what they're talking about, you know, or misinformed. So yeah, that's just that's the Nintendo derangement syndrome. That came from people that are sitting there and going crazy. Some people, not everybody, about the whole situation with the TOS or like the EULA, and then not even checking Microsoft's and Sony's, right? Not even checking theirs. So like, okay, check the other systems, because you're talking about, you know, hey, they're gonna do this. Oh, Nintendo, they're being crazy. What about Microsoft? Microsoft and Sony will do the same thing. You cannot hack your system, then connect to their servers, and then say, okay, yeah, here you go. They can maybe ban your account, you know what I'm saying? But they can't necessarily just remotely brick everything overall, unless you're trying to, like I said, try to hack their security servers or settings, right? They got to be able to protect themselves over it. So Prime was spot on about that one. But the NDS, once again, is for people that are crazy. It's not for anybody that's logically, you know, critiquing or criticizing something. So yeah, that's the thing, guys. It's not for people just, you know, anybody that does any type of criticism. Says, okay, but Prime is definitely Nintendo's strongest warrior / lawyer. Well, tell me what he said that was wrong, Felipe. What did he say that you said is? But what did he say that makes you say strongest? Like, what did he say wrong? So that's what I'm saying. Like, Felipe, some people are upset that he's right about this stuff, and all the stuff that they say is wrong, or that they're mad that he's actually giving you correct information. So you're saying he's the strongest warrior, sure, but what did he say wrong in terms of things? Like, what's wrong with being right? So he's right a lot on the stuff that he said. When people say something, he says, no, it's like this. And he's usually correct on it because he actually researches. What is he? That's not a warrior. That's just called being right, you know? So let's see here. Really have to work to get their attention to brick your system? Yeah, you'd have to do something pretty crazy. Didn't Sony sue people for installing Linux? There was a huge lawsuit from GeoHots. That was the guy. GeoHots got sued by Sony. So yeah, the only thing he likes to, but no, I'm asking you a question. Let's see here. We already talked about the whole does it play? No, I don't think that the launch is rushed. No, I don't think the launch is rushed. I've covered multiple Nintendo systems. I don't know how old Does It Play is. He's had his account since 2019, I think. But I don't know how old he is or whatever the case is with him. But nothing that he said when he, like, you know, just my personal opinion, nothing that he said makes the system feel rushed. If anything, the system is probably the most well planned out system Nintendo's ever had. Because if you look at the N64, that launched with 2 games. There was 2 games on the system. You know what I'm saying? And it was delayed. The Switch 2 is launching with way more content. It's launching with way more stuff. They've got free updates. They've got Nintendo Switch 2 editions. They've got big first-party games. They've got big third-party games. Well, they've got a big first-party game. They've got another big first-party game coming, obviously. The rest of the year is packed full of content. A day one patch doesn't mean that the system's rushed, because the Switch 1 had a day one patch, the Wii U had a day one patch, PS5 had a day one patched, like, and your system's gonna get patched. Like the Xbox Series has patches all the time. Like they're gonna patch. Like systems are gonna get patched. It's not like it's a system. Modern systems are gonna get patched, and they're gonna get patched early and often. You know, overall. So, yeah, like if you're putting together a system, right, and you're putting together a lot of units, you got to start manufacturing like a year ago, or at least like 6 months ago. You're still working on making sure that you fine tune everything for the launch. There's no way that you're gonna be able to have the latest firmware 6 months ago, because there's units that are being made a long time ago. You can't have the latest firmware on those units. You have to have those units ready to go, you know what I'm saying, and get them on the assembly line and get them boxed and shipped out. Nintendo's been stockpiling units. How can you have the latest patch on units that were made, you know, 6-7 months ago? Are you supposed to wait till you're completely done and then delay it out even further, so you have units that are sitting there in warehouses for a year, up to a year or two? Like, I mean, come on, this is ridiculous, you know? Or a year and a half. Like, so this person, like I said, he's okay with his opinion. There's nothing wrong. He can share his opinion, and his opinion is fine, but he's not using logic to say, like, because like I said, every system has patches day one, so that means every system is rushed. And Switch 2 has more games in terms of, because he said thin first party lineup. Switch 2 has more first party games than Microsoft and Sony, I think, combined in their first 6 months. No system had more games than Switch 2 in terms of first party stuff. So it's like I said, you're entitled to your opinion, but you have to actually have evidence to back that up. Like the evidence shows that there's not a thin first party lineup. The first party lineup is pretty good. So yeah. By the way, Fernando says he's comparing PS5 and Switch 2 Cyberpunk. Yeah, that's what I thought. PS5 says Switch 2's oven pump only use 540p. What? Still use 540p? Well, it's DLSS, so it's not 540p. It's DLSS. That's the whole point of the Nintendo Switch 2. It doesn't run at you're not going to see 540p. You're going to see something much better than 540p. That's the whole point of the system. But I think, yeah, if you compare it to PS5, then obviously it's not, graphics wise, in terms of the visual look, it's not too far off from PS5. Frame rate wise, yeah, PS5 frame rate's better. But if you compare them graphically, from what you can see from YouTube compression, the PS5 version doesn't look considerably better. It just looks better, but it doesn't look considerably better than this from my eyes. Now, once again, we gotta wait and see once it comes out, but it doesn't look considerably better from what I've seen so far. But it's an opinion, right? It's an opinion. But the PS5 version definitely does look better. That's for sure. Definitely looks better. It's gonna look better in lots of different ways. 100% it's gonna look better. But once again, it's not like so far to the point to where it's like the gap between like Doom Eternal on PS5 and Doom Eternal on Switch. It's not that type of gap, right? It looks solid for a hybrid system, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. I thought it's DLSS 1080p. I don't know what the internal native resolution is of the game, if they're running it at 540p then with DLSS. I'm not sure what they're doing, or if it's 1080p with I don't know what they said. But yeah, either way, it's using DLSS, which that's the whole point, you know? See, do you think DK Bonanza was the reason the system was shifted to this year software lineup helped successful launch? I don't know if the people say that the system was shifted to this year. I can't say for sure if it was or not. So I don't know. I don't think that was it. I think it was basically to probably maybe get more software ready, right? Like all the Nintendo Switch 2 games and all that stuff ready to go as well. Never really cared about the graphics that much. I'm more excited to see the first party stuff. And it's nice to get games like Claire and Metaphor. Yeah. Doom Eternal, I would like to check out on Switch 2, scooped up for $9.99 back in December, but haven't checked it out on Switch yet. Yeah, it's a little on Switch, you know. Doom Eternal, Doom 2016 was like impressive for the time, you know, but definitely Eternal felt a bit more like not so good. I meant solid 1080p after DLSS. That's the whole point of the Switch 2, is to have the DLSS. People are gonna say Switch 1 lifespan was too long and drawn out, then say Switch 2 was rushed. I know, seriously. Let's see, never really care, but yeah. Let's see, wait, 540p is great. Well, once again, guys, it's DLSS, so it's not whatever you render internally, that's fine. You can render it at whatever, but it's what matters is what you see. What you see that, and the reason why they do that is once again it lightens the load on the CPU as well. So I get maybe some people say, oh man, you already have a game like Cyberpunk, you know, that's an older game and it runs, you know, that native resolution internal, but that doesn't matter. All that matters is what you see. Like that's all that matters, you know. So yeah, that's all that matters. And that's the point of the Switch 2. The whole point of the Switch 2 is to be able to have a hybrid system that can play games at a good enough quality in portable mode and in dock mode, not break the bank. Obviously, the system isn't super expensive. It's definitely pricey, but it's not super expensive. It's $450 for the system, and it's out. And like I said, it can outperform other systems that are more expensive than it, right? So in terms of some things, not everything, but some things. Overall, the system's okay. The system's okay for what it does, for the price and for what it does. And like I said, not everyone's gonna care or like it, and not everyone's a fan of Nintendo. You don't have to be. I just want to make sure that I'm very clear with this. You don't have to be a fan of Nintendo. You don't have to like them. There's a lot of people that don't like them for X, Y, Z, B, E, D, G, Z, P, D, whatever reason, right? And that's fine. But like, there's obviously plenty of fans. But what I find interesting is that, man, there seems to be a lot of people that are so interested in talking about Nintendo Switch 2 that didn't play Switch 1, that don't like the games, that don't care about the system at all. I don't understand why you're even worried about it. It's like, you know, what's the point? It's like, I never talk about, there's a lot of things that I don't talk about that I just don't care about. But it's really funny to see people who, like I said, don't even have the system, don't play the games, not planning on playing them, but they're talking about it a lot. So very interesting to say the least, for sure. Let's see, I'm not trolling. Do you think Microsoft is a legitimate third-party publisher? I'm just curious. Microsoft, yes, Microsoft is a legitimate third-party publisher. Yes, they are. Green Ninja. They're like the biggest third-party publisher. Yes, because they take games that they own from a first-party standpoint, and they publish them on all platforms. Like Overwatch, they own Overwatch. They own Call of Duty. They own Minecraft. They own Doom. They own all sorts of stuff, and they publish that stuff on multiple platforms. They own Forza, right? Forza. They own Forza. They own Gears of War. They're publishing Gears of War. They're publishing Forza. They're publishing all sorts of games on other platforms. That is a third-party publisher, yes. Like, that's the definition of a third-party publisher. Let's see, what's your recommended SD card size? If you have a big Switch 1 library, digital, I would say that you probably want to go with at least a 512 to 1 terabyte. So yeah. Let's see here. Digital Foundry admitted Street Fighter 6 looks better on Switch 2 in comparison with Series S, but they look puzzled. Yeah, they definitely seemed a bit puzzled on that one. But yeah, once again, newer architecture. Like I said, raw horsepower, I don't think the Switch 2 raw horsepower is more than... There are some things Switch 2 probably does a little bit better. But raw horsepower, Xbox Series S is stronger. But I think that Series S probably wasn't the most optimized platform for Street Fighter 6. So I think if Capcom actually cared about the Series S, I think it probably could have been better. But I don't think Capcom cares about the Series S too much. So I think it maybe got the short end of the stick. But I think they care more about the Switch 2 and that version being good. Because Japan and all that. And because, you know, whatever. But yeah. Justin with the $3 says...
Do you think people think every PS5 game is native 4K?
I think some people think that. They think that every game is like native 4K and runs like at a perfect 60 frames per second. Or like 120 or something like that. Shout outs, Justin. Appreciate that, man. Let's go. I just finished the Xenoblade Chronicles 2, almost 200 hours of playtime. Just started Torna. Why does turns look like a huge graphical leap in the opening area? I think meant Torna. Huge graphical leap. They use the new rendering system for like the grass and stuff like that. So that's the reason why it looks a little bit better. Anthony. The fact that I remember that shows you that I'm goated at what I do. That was something that Monolith Soft talked about in 2018. That was from like 6 years ago. And I have not talked about that in a long time. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that was pretty good. I impressed myself just a little bit. The fact that I remembered that detail, that Monolith said that they actually upgraded the rendering system for Torna just a little bit as they were making upgrades to their engine. And that's the reason why it looks a little bit better there. I'm just saying. Let's go. That was a PE news video in 2018. Oh man. Let's see. The old man still got it, man. My memory's not fading me yet. My memory's not fading me yet. I'm still good, guys. I'm still good. I'm still good. Shout outs. Let's see here. Old man memory's going strong, man. It's going strong. We out here tonight. Let's go. We out here tonight. But all right, guys. We have went a bit over the time limit. We're gonna wrap it up here. I want to say thank you to everybody that came out to tonight's stream. I appreciate all of you guys. Shout out to all the big love and support and donos, and thank you guys so much, man. Seriously, I really appreciate it. But we do have 200 something people watching at this point. And we hit 200 plus on the combo breaks. Let's go. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Shout out to Cyber Taurus, Captain Kingston. Shout out to Justin. Thank you for the multiple donos. Everybody that dropped donos. Everybody that requested music. Everybody that became a member. Cyber Taurus with the big 10 gifted. So thank you guys so much. Everybody that is a member. Everybody that just commented or a subscriber. Or even if you're lurking. I appreciate all of you guys. Seriously. Thank you so much as well. Shout out to the community board. Dior, Sizz, and Cyber Taurus. Top 3, Party Man right after that. Shaw X, Monado Mario, Epic Lobster, Beloved Angel, Super Christian Me World, and Projo all making the top 10 for the community leaderboard. So thank you guys so much as well for that. And if you have not seen my most recent video, I've got a great video talking about what am I talking about? I got a great video talking about Sea of Stars. There we go. Shout outs to the Sea of Stars team. They did hit me up with the sponsor on that one. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate that, allowing me to get sponsored videos. So yeah, Sea of Stars, go watch the vid if you haven't seen it. It's a great vid on Sea of Stars. It's only 10 minutes long, so go check out that Sea of Stars best RPG. One of the still incredible in 2025. It's a great game. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you guys for the love and support. We might be taking tomorrow off from streaming just because I'm going to be editing tomorrow. I got a lot of editing work to do, but I'm going to have I'll probably have 2 videos for you guys, depending on how my first video does. I got a Metroid Prime video for you guys, and then I'm going to also potentially have another video based on what news comes out. So check out my Metroid Prime video tomorrow morning. You guys are not going to want to miss that, okay? That's tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Check out my video on Cyberpunk. That video is already up too. So if you missed my video talking about Cyberpunk, just did the impossible, check out that video as well. It's pretty good. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, you made the top 10. Let's go. Thank you guys so much. You guys are great. Love you guys so much. Thank you for the support today, and we'll see you for the next one. All right. Peace out, homies.